it perfectly that time. Write down how much I put in so that I don't forget. I'll forget. We all know my memory. So, hey, how's everybody doing? Pretty good? Glad to hear it. just woo! We have a fun one today, probably. I don't pre-watch these, so it might not be that fun. But personally, I'm excited. Done a little bit of homework, and I can't wait to finally get to, though we have some things to cover first, I can't wait to finally get to Raanan Hershberg's Morbidly Jewish. Don't demonetize, don't at me, YouTube, because that is the name. It's the name of the piece. It's art, so you can't come at me. It was an eventful meantime, was it not? We had Kill Tony Netflix 3, which, if you'll recall, in the last episode I was talking about how I thought it was... there was a lot about it that bumped kind of strangely. Foremost being, they kept... I want to say there were 2 or 3 at most actual bucket pulls. Now, I don't know that they're going to beat the allegations of fake pullage, just because things keep popping up. A lot of coincidence, a lot of comedians who come out and are like, no, so-and-so's right back there. And they're like, what do you mean right back there? And then the person ends up coming out. So they're not going to beat those conspiracy charges, I don't think. However, Kill Tony Netflix was interesting because it was mostly just other comedians. And I think they do that... because, they think popular, already established comedians coming on there makes it more of like a variety show than like just a night at an open mic. And they think that that's better. Although most of us watch it for the imperfections of the bucket pulls. But then I was watching Joe Rogan Experience number 2440 with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And he was talking to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck, like Bella Fleck. Stupid. And he let on a little more than I think perhaps Tony would be happy with him for having let.
But keep fucking around and lighting that. We'll also go.
It is weird, though, the concern for the algorithm, like making sure that people watch. Like, look, we've got data that shows within the first...
That's fair, especially coming from him, just because he doesn't tend to bleep nor edit. He won't play copywritten music, but, like, it's not damning given what he's talking about right here. Versus people who will bleep, every F word in the first 10 minutes of the video because yada yada.
5 minutes.
Fuck that, says I.
That's when this happens, they tune out. So it's not like...
Free speech.
My buddy Tony Hinchcliffe, he's got killed.
Oh, his buddy Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm tuning in.
First 5 minutes, when this happens, they tune out. So people watch. Like, look, we've got data that shows within the first 5 minutes, when this happens, they tune out.
So it's crazy because these networks, networks like Netflix have these data sheets, these data sets where they're like, look, this is working, this doesn't seem to be working, because they can tell when and where people tune out.
So it's like my buddy Tony Hinchcliffe, he's got Kill Tony, and now it's on Netflix, and so they're giving him notes now.
Oh, are they? Are they giving him notes now?
And they can give him, like, but they're not telling him what to do, but they're saying, like...
Okay, well, at least they're not telling him what to do. They're just telling him how to continue the deal with Netflix. Well, we need your numbers to be here, and your numbers are here, and this is our suggestion to bridge that gap, but, like, you don't have to do it.
Like, this is when people are tuning out. And so...
I wonder where those points were. Could it be, perhaps, right around when the open micers start getting called out? Could it be during the bucket polls where people just bomb and the crowd just boos them? Which, by the way, they didn't do for the first time ever. People were just nice. They booed like one time, and this person really had it coming. And it's like, very clear to me that they don't think that the open micers are a good draw for your traditional Netflix crowd. Which, fair enough. You know, it's more of a, you know, they're probably going for that larger demographic, I guess. You can't exactly call it like family friendly or anything. But I guess they're trying to reach out to broader comedy audiences. The problem with that being that the people who built the show, the 2 million of us on YouTube, are used to a different show. And so too are Tony and Red Band and the band and everyone else. They're used to doing a different show. So when they come on Netflix and they do something that's entirely different, it feels jilted and disconnected from the show we fell in love with.
Let's, you know, just so you have that data, now decide how you want to edit things.
Yeah, just decide. Do you want to stay on Netflix or do you want to keep being you?
So it's like, oh.
Yeah,
Slippery slope.
Yeah. Okay, so while we're over here in JREville, I'm going to go to 2635 because there's just a funny moment. Now, it flies around on the internet. The Joe Rogan, what do they call him on Podcast Cringe? Tall and funny comedian Joe Rogan.
This is Mike. And
It's kind of got hit me with an advertisement. I was on pause. That's how you know. Nowhere is safe. So, anyway, they call him tall and funny comedian Joe Rogan. And I take a little bit of umbrage with that. I declare umbrage with that perspective. Because Joe, he makes me laugh all the time.
Yeah, and then it got to like the fifth
it's kind of
level.
like single, double, triple home run.
Home run, fucking grand slam.
Yeah.
So he's talking to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck about K-pop Demon Hunter.
The fifth one was 110%
K-pop Demon Hunters.
of all Netflix viewers or something like that. So it's everybody who has a Netflix account watches it, and then like 10% of them watch it again.
Well, that's a lot. It's a lot of people watching K-pop Demon Hunters. So Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they did their own Netflix polling and data collection because they have some kind of studio. They just put out a movie, yada, yada, yada. But they actually have the numbers on this. And Joe has a pretty unique take coming up here.
And we were like,
Oh, it's like K-pop Demon. This is the biggest K-pop
but that's
Demon
what
Hunters,
happened.
right?
We were laughing, and then K-pop Demon Hunters came along and actually did that. That's the first movie that's ever.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of autistic kids watch that over and over and over.
I haven't seen it, but I mean, somebody's watching it over and
Oh my God. Okay. So let's take that one more
and
time.
actually did that. That's the first movie that's ever.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot.
Joe tries to break the tension because he doesn't fully understand all this analytics talk. This is my take. I don't think he's fully following all this analytics talk, or maybe he just doesn't think it's interesting.
Autistic kids watch that over and over.
So he says, I think a lot of...
First movie that's ever.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of autistic kids watch that over and over and over.
I haven't seen it, but
Matt Damon doesn't respond. He doesn't the way that Joe is hoping. He doesn't laugh. So Joe does this forced laugh.
I mean,
to try to get him to laugh. Try to get either of them to laugh. Affleck makes no noise. Matt Damon...
somebody's watching it over and over.
He kind of tries to humor him. He's got a smile on his face. He goes, somebody's watching it over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
So, dude, people love it.
Okay. So Joe, having realized now that his joke is not going over particularly well, he does the loudest gulp I think I've ever heard on a podcast.
I haven't seen it.
Wait for it.
But I mean, somebody's watching
That's not hyperbole, damn it.
it over and over.
Oh, yeah. So, dude, people love it.
I mean, it's
He just stares dead ahead, just completely dejected. Anyway, I thought I would share that with you. Now let's start angling our way down old Raanan Hershberg Boulevard, shall we?
that it.
This next clip is from Dan Soder's podcast, episode 114 of Dan Soder's podcast. Now, I promise this will take us Raanan way. However, let's bear with me for a bit of a Raanan sentence here.
It does feel like, because I, as someone that grew up with a single mom,
So Dan Soder is talking to Mark Normand.
I see
It's a couple of everybody's favorite dudes.
where the lack of dad is.
Oh, really?
I see where the lack of like confidence or like just like a reassurance.
But you
Man, he has a booming voice. So Dan is noticing that he has some holes in his personality from the way he was raised. Don't we all?
Oh, really?
I see where the lack of like confidence or like just like a reassurance.
But you're pretty well adjusted.
I've been in therapy for 15 years.
He's been in therapy for 15 years.
Still going?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm lifetime, man.
That's good. Good for Dan. Good for Dan Soder.
And
I pulled out.
yeah, you did.
Well, Alan raised the...
Alan refers to the therapist by his first name, Alan.
I'm lifetime, man.
I'm happy for them. I think that they should be in therapy. I think that that's probably a good thing. That said, a therapist, for better or for worse, has a massive effect on a person and the way that they live their life and the way that they fucking think, right? I've had lots of friends go in and they have these big revelations, and that's, as they go forth and apply those things, that's kind of becomes who they are. They do truly have a huge impact on people.
Lack of like confidence or like just like a reassurance.
But you're pretty well adjusted.
I've been in therapy for 15 years.
Still going?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'm lifetime, man.
He's a lifetime.
I pulled out.
Yeah, you did.
Well, Alan raised the prices on me.
He did, but to me,
He calls him a dick. He says, Alan raised the prices on me, that dick. And then Dan says he did, very knowingly, as though they have the same therapist.
it was like when I had to negotiate.
Did you?
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, this is too.
It was like a 40% jump.
A 40% jump for a therapist to raise their prices 40%. They have to be, really expanding their customer base.
But I'm like, he's like, I saw your Netflix. Don't try to get that one by me. And I'm like, no, it was $200K.
Yeah, you don't understand. It's a license
So apparently he's doing a little bit of a gouging, or this is a joke.
fee. You don't even know.
Probably a joke.
Or they-
This Alan guy is probably fictitious.
Yeah.
Half of that goes into editing.
Yeah.
So
That's all lights. That's all lights in the venue, baby.
Yeah. So I had to fight with him, and he was like, "You're really pushing back on this," and I was like, "You taught me this.
Yeah.
I'm asserting. This is what you taught me."
That is great. Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah. So
You know, listen.
he fucked himself.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so this Alan character, who is probably just a character, I heard that interview first. Now, this all happened in the same day. I hear that interview and I go, interesting. Not so much an interview as a conversation between people who we've heard lots of conversations between, but pretty interesting stuff. This Alan guy sounds like a real character, but nothing more, right? Until
something.
I switched over to R.I.P. Jordan Jensen, episode 4, Raanan Hershberg, which came out a year ago. And Raanan and Jordan Jensen, who I guess was just in a movie with Bradley Cooper. She was in the Is This Thing On movie. Good for her. Apparently she did a great job. We love Jordan Jensen around here.
To
be fair, with the same person.
That was gonna love me.
Boy, the sound is just so wildly inconsistent. Do you remember how I bring this up? How I say it's really hard to mix sound? This is exactly what I mean. I've had to adjust my volume depending on whose podcast I'm listening to. Now, that kind of inconsistency would just go away if people knew how to mix. But then again, you probably have to have me dimed out because I'm not using any of my fancy equipment. Someday I'll be using the classic SM58 with a little windscreen on the top, just like all my heroes do. And then I can finally talk like this. Thank you. Anyway, Jordan Jensen talking to Raanan Hershberg. This was a little bit of research I started doing because I want to get to this Raanan guy.
Up every week. I just wanted something.
To be fair, with the same person.
That was gonna love me.
So there was some stability in it. And in a sense, getting broken up over and over again.
Jordan Jensen apparently has a pretty vicious ex-relationship where she was on and off with this same fella. She's making a sad face right now.
your stability.
It is, yeah.
If you weren't happening, that would be the destabilizing
We need to turn up Raanan's mic. Can we? That's not up. That's got to be okay. Sorry, folks.
factor.
That's what Alan
By
said.
the way, welcome. Hello.
We have the same therapist.
Ooh, they have the same therapist too. How strange.
What day do you go?
I went yesterday. I go Wednesday, every other day, every other week. I can't go every
Let's go back a little bit.
factor.
That's what Alan says.
That's what fucking Alan says. What?
We have
What?
the same therapist.
We have the same therapist now. Far be it from me to rule out coincidence, however, this seems very much like Jordan Jensen, Raanan Hershberg, Mark Norman, and Dan Soder, all New York comics, all have the same therapist.
What day do you go?
I went yesterday. I go Wednesday, every other day, every other week. I can't go every week.
Sometimes he falls asleep.
What? During it? No, really?
Apparently he falls asleep during Jordan Jensen's sessions.
Yeah, to Sagalo too.
Really?
Sagalo, Brandon Sagalo, also a New York comic. 5 of them, at least, were Mark Norman. Went we all the way home, but 5 of them at least had and shared the same fucking therapist, the same guy who tells them, gives them tools to help them work through the problems in their life. But if we're not shaped by the way we approach our own adversities, what shapes us? This guy has a massive molding hand on some of the most popular, the growingly most popular comedians and public speakers in the scene right now. I mean, yes, they're B tier, but they're B tier and rising. C tier for some of them. No offense, Raanan, your special seems to be doing well, but we can't pretend that you're on the Mark Norman level of it all, following-wise. But you all have the same therapist, and that's all I have on that. And we're going to use this pivot to transition into Raanan stuff now. But is that not so strange? Let me know what you think, if you have thoughts, or if you've noticed this Alan guy, therapist dude, popping up anywhere else. Because I feel like we're tugging on a thread here. So let's tug together. Anyway, jumping off of Alan's stuff, we're going to continue on the Raanan road here. And he, as you know, is a New York comedian, friends with all these fellas, including Joe List. The Regs is Joe List. Red Bar's Joe List. Who Joe List thinks is brilliant or whatever, and brought that up. I don't... Redact covered it a little bit. Can't help but notice that he didn't say my boy's name. Apparently he didn't get the message that we're all huge fans of Redact now. But Redact showed it. I think he was the only coverage that I saw, like, the bigger dogs doing. I would just fucking love to hear what Mike from Red Bar has, Mike and Jules from Red Bar have to say about all this. Things are getting crazy. What's the bat light? The bat spotlight, which is, I think you could just put bat in front of most things Batman and make it Batman canon. The Bat canon, if you will. Anyway, I'm checking my notes here. So, Raanan is... Oh, okay. So this kind of shows you, because Joe is... I personally think he's quite funny. I like him a lot on the regs. I like him... I like his personality on podcasts, and his special Small Ball was one of the first ones I saw from its era that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. I want to say he got, like, pretty high. If we ever give grades between, like, 65 and 85%, but, like, he's in that range for sure. I want to say Timmy No Breaks was my first one. Hilarious. Not for the reasons he thinks, but very funny.
Both of them. Okay.
Anyway, so this is Raanan and Joe List talking about the movie Toy Story.
Yeah.
You collaborate, but it's
All right.
going on mine. Last time I got 5,000 views. I got 165,000 followers.
All right. Well, I'm sorry.
They're arguing about whose channel this should go on. Now, they haven't yet arrived at the fact that it could be a collab.
Yeah, you know,
This is my idea to promote your fucking thing. This is
Okay.
not your
you're right.
podcast.
So welcome
This is
to
our podcast.
All right. Welcome to Joe and Raanan, and to promote my thing, I have a special coming out January
We know all about that.
15th. All right, 8
January
p.m.
15th,
Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern.
All
Be in the chat, live
It is
chat.
this Thursday.
I wasn't in the live chat. I wish I would have been.
Live chat. I'll be there. You'll be there.
No.
Yeah,
I'll be in Vegas.
You'll be
Okay.
in Vegas. You
I'll
do the
pop
live
in.
chat.
I'll
You'll
pop in because I'll
in.
be 2 hours, 3 hours behind. I don't know how they do it.
So Raanan wanted to put it up on his YouTube page. List very assertively put his foot down. I wonder if that has anything to do with Alan.
Specials.
We don't know that Joe List is seeing Alan, but if we hear him talk about therapy, we need to be scanning his words very carefully for any congruities.
Called Morbidly Jewish. It's one of my best.
Thanks.
It's one of my best.
Why did you
hours.
run that by me?
That's hilarious.
Give him a little shit about the title.
It's a great title.
Morbidly Jewish.
It's
All
actually
right.
one of my first funny titles.
Okay, we're gonna get into some titular conversation, and I enjoy titular work.
What are your other title? Oh, yeah, Into the
Jokes from the
Underground.
Underground.
Into
To the
the.
Dostoevsky reference.
Yeah, Push It Down the Hill.
Dostoevsky reference.
Brave.
Downhill ever since. Yeah, this is your first good title.
First good title. So List is kind of the Lewis in this. Don't get me wrong. He's not like an underfoot character in the regs by any means. He's always a good part of the give and take. But he seems to be kind of the dominant dog when it comes to Raanan.
And that even you butchering the title, I'm just
Ranan's handling it quite well, of course.
honored that you.
By the way, this is all pretty much everything you've seen. I've watched most of this. I watched a little bit of him on Jordan Jensen where we saw it, but I'm highly unfamiliar with Raanan, as I tend to be with a lot of these people who I cover on here. So we know this guy right around the same amount.
You remember it? I'm like, wow, you remember my first one?
Yeah, I'm a fan. Well, by the way, let me just paint a picture of who Raanan Marie Elizabeth Hershberg is.
Would love that, Joe. I was just saying how we don't know him around here.
As you said that, I spilled coffee on my arm, and I feel like that answered your question of painting the picture. You know,
Man spills coffee. Is picture.
No, the picture's worse than that. Spilling coffee
The picture's worse than that.
is whatever. Now, I am sitting here. Ranaan's about to have a...
Raanan starting to look a little nervous. He sits here with his thing. I'm just like them. Okay, so Raanan, at least on his podcasts, is one of these guys. He's one of the hold it down here, kind of like... I think this is more of like a Schultz type grip. Also a New York guy. But like, he's got interesting technique here. He's kind of, and it's hard to use these on a podcast because every time you bump it, you can hear that. It all gets reported. You get in trouble for every little and I wear rings, usually way more than this. I'm being conservative because I know comedy fans. Kidding. I don't know many comedy fans at all. Otherwise, I would be much more like The Last Panel, and I'd have friends, and we'd be talking, and we'd be disagreeing about William Montgomery, and I'd be schooling him on why he's good. And I would be a little bit more open to listening to, what's his name? I think Charles. Because Charles is talking about... It's funny because they were on Last Panel. Quick aside, go check them out. They another growing channel, small but growing channel on YouTube. Thank God It's Tuesday, The Last Panel. I don't know really what their name is. Their theme song says it's Thank God It's Tuesday. They have a whole fancy theme song. Anyway, I considered pulling up because they had a discussion about William Montgomery, and they were kind of arguing two different things. Grey Poupée, shout out, was kind of arguing that William is lovable and good. And whereas Charles was taking a much more objective stance and asked Grey Poupée not to show William's interviews, he wanted to judge William based on William's material. And pretty much that is judging whether or not he's a good comic or whether or not he is good. Now the whole discussion was a little bit funky for that reason, because Grey Poupée was trying to be like, this is William, we love him, here's why, but okay, I won't show you the interviews. And Charles was like, all of this is nonsense. So Charles is right in that, if you're judging someone on their work alone, you should just go from the jokes themselves. However, Poupée is right because the jokes are being told on a podcast, and a big part of that podcast is the interview. So I think Poupée was trying to show how lovable William is. Charles was trying to say why he doesn't love him, and that's based on his technical skills as a comic. So, hit me up and I can help straighten these things out for you there, boyos. Anyway, back to Raanan and Joe describing Raanan Hershberg.
Child, he's ill prepared. We have one toy.
That's for me.
Every time
It felt like a fake laugh, didn't it? That's for me.
see Raanan, by the way, you might want to get
He's still laughing. Maybe Raanan's just kind of got a hearty laugh of the belly.
reinforced. Every time I see Raanan, you're like this. Oh, I'm so exhausted, and it's hilarious.
I know. I don't know tired. I don't know fatigue. I get it.
But how can you be this exhausted? What are you doing? What?
I love it when they're airing out some grievances, because Joe has a fairly legitimate reason to be upset with his buddy Raanan, because Joe's trying to help Raanan out. Raanan we'll check his subscriber count. Joe definitely has far more.
What? How?
I
Why?
was having trouble
Why are you so tired?
getting to sleep because fascism has taken over America. I'm sorry if that causes sleep deprivation.
Okay, but you were tired during the Biden administration.
Okay, I was wondering how List was going to respond to that. He says, okay, well, you were tired during the Biden administration, too.
And so was he, I might add.
I get tired. I get very tired.
But how are you going to have the baby? Are you worried about?
That's a really elegant way of dodging the actual political take. You tiptoed around that quite expertly, Mr. List.
Go bad. It's gonna go bad.
This is crazy.
It's gonna go bad.
You're the most exhausted person I've ever met.
I'm very worried because I take 3 baths a day, and I'm worried with the baby it's gonna have to be brought down to maybe 2,
Yeah.
2.5
That's funny.
at the most, and it's scary. It's very scary. I live a life of leisure. I work
But
hard.
why are you tired?
I just, I don't know. I'm fat.
The way you tell the story, it's funny.
So
Funny guy. So Raanan,
see, Joe List is on point here. Again, he's a little bit more of the shot caller in this economy of conversation.
I call Raanan. I call him a piece of shit. I call him up. I say, hey, you got a special coming out. I want to.
So I'm showing you this because it helps us get to know Raanan and who he is behind the scenes a little,
I call
which
him
we don't always get to see on these podcasts,
a
podcasts, if you will.
piece of shit. I call him up. I say, hey, you got a special coming out. I want to help you out. I want to do a little service.
Yeah.
I want this
Joe's trying to lift up his buddies. He's trying to Rogan this fella.
take off because you're one of the best comedians.
Thank you.
There's a bunch of horrible comedians selling out fucking stadiums.
Wonder who he's talking about. According to Rogan, there is not a big list of people who are selling out stadiums. I mean, who are working professionally even, but selling out stadiums is the next level up. There's got to be 10 fellas that are doing that. It would be very interesting little homework to see who I've heard him praise over the years. If I was still doing scripted videos, that might be the subject of one. Now I can just kind of be like, vaguely this. Then we do some review. I prefer this format.
Let's get you up there.
Right.
So I say, let me take
Because I'm a little bit of a Raanan, but you'll understand what I mean in a second here.
horrible comedians selling out fucking stadiums. Let's get you up there.
Right.
So I say, let me take a big chunk of my time, do the podcast at your home.
At my home.
We are starting 40 minutes late.
Oh shit, Raanan's on punk time.
Hadn't even kind of set up.
baby food in the grocery store.
Raanan is tickled by this. He thinks it's very funny. It's good that he can laugh at himself. That's good.
At 10:48, you write, I just got out of the shower. Then you want to go to Starbucks and get a coffee. The camera's not set up. The microphone's not set up.
These guys love their Starbucks.
I have a child. I have a 2-year-old child. My wife is babysitting. It's 11:36. We're 36 minutes late and we're recording in your home.
Now, Joe does a lot of podcasts. So, I think he has a little bit more of a professional approach to this. And I remember that transition happening in my group of fellow creators and musicians, where we'd be in bands and stuff together, and it happens at different points in people's, like, you know, careers, or in their, like, yeah, I could fucking call it a career, where people will, you know, you start off not caring, and this is, like, you know, the whole, like, millennial slouch thing kind of is born from punk, and how it's cool to not care, and you fuck up your instruments, and it's all shitty, poor, you know, poor people equipment, and, like, and that's cool, because that's, like, part of it. It's all you could do. It's born from necessity, but it becomes a part of the, like, culture of what you're doing. And then you start, you know, you get older and older, and you want to start playing, like, gigs that aren't just in people's garages and basements and stuff. And so you start getting, you know, booked at certain times. And this is an interesting pinnacle point for creatives, and especially performers, where you go from, like, what made you, like, cool, you know what I mean? And that's like, I don't care about time. I get there when I get there. You know, it's not cool to care about being on time. That's punk time. The people that you haven't heard of never got off of punk time. They're probably slaying somewhere, but they're probably these middle-aged guys playing for college kids in a basement somewhere. Because they never got off punk time. They never decided, all right, I want to do this for real. I want to get there on time so that I can network with these other people, and I make a reputation for me and my band as one that's easy to work with, and one that shows up on time, and one that doesn't always fight people at the end of shows. But you can't nail them all. I would show up on time. So it's I feel like what we're seeing right here is the professional comedian side of that, where you have Joe List, who takes his podcasts and his career and his work very, very seriously. He's got a kid, which Raanan also has a kid on the way. That's what they were kind of talking about earlier with his bath time getting cut back. Joe List is a little bit like, come on, man, punk time needs to die. And Raanan is our friend that's too cool for school and doesn't answer his phone, even though he said be at my house at 10. And then it's 10:38, and he's like, hey, I just got out of the shower, dude. I'm just going to get some coffee, and then we're on. And any fellow musicians watching probably know what I'm talking about. You either know what I'm talking about, or you are that guy.
Yes.
Was that classic trope? If you don't think that this guy exists, you are this guy.
Well,
That's fucking nuts.
I have ADD. I'm a sufferer
I have ADD.
of ADD.
I don't think that even is like a diagnosed term anymore. I'm pretty sure it's all just ADHD.
It's tough. I'm late. Even late
I'm no Alan. I don't know.
to the thing where it's at my place.
And you're...
You don't know the struggles of ADD.
Shout out the puppeteer to the comics of New York.
It's
I wonder if Lewis goes to this. Like, who else has been exposed to this Alan and his machinations? And how much of what we're hearing from these New York comics is filtered through Alan and his tools to coping?
It's tough.
What, do you think I don't have ADD? Are you nuts?
You're always on time. Can you have ADD if you're always on time?
I am not going to remark on how woefully out of touch that is in so many ways.
Of course.
Really?
Yes.
Can you have ADD if you're on time?
I'm a complete...
It was a tasteless impersonation. I'm gonna do better for us.
Scattershot. I can't get anything done, but I'm on time because I care about people. I think about people. I don't want people to not like
Well,
me.
my ADD symptom is the late one, you know?
My ADD symptom is the late one. All right, that's funny. See, Raanan's funny. I think he's self-aware enough. He has enough Allenic tools to be able to laugh at himself and his own flaws. And that's a good sign.
And
He's not one of those, like, I'm so jacked comics, or, you know, he's not a self-help comic.
and you're like one of these Gen Z.
And hopefully he's not going to do a bunch of, like, dad stuff, because that'll be his next special, probably, because he hasn't had the kid yet. So hopefully he's not doing, like, I'm a husband and a dad stuff. Because, again, I don't fault comics for doing that. You write what you know, but, you know, the plebeians out here, such as myself, we've heard a lot of it. McCusker did it very well, which is why he got an 8.5.
Z assholes just
Spoilers, my bad.
putting a label on your assholeness. And by the way, you're a guy.
autistic.
You're a guy that loves to just go, that guy's a piece of shit, this guy's a bad guy. Is this a good guy move? 40 minutes late?
It's a problem. It's a mental condition. It's not out of any.
Oh, it's a mental
experience.
condition. Okay.
Look,
Oh, it's a mental condition. Okay. Then they go, they move on with the podcast. I feel like we've spent enough time getting to know the scene around Raanan. I feel like we've spent enough time getting to know him. And so without more ado-ing, let's watch Morbidly Jewish, Raanan Hershberg's 43-minute full comedy special. Thank you.
so before I begin, here's like a disclaimer.
I also have a disclaimer. This is fair use. It is intended for educational and commentary purposes. It is fully transformative. I still haven't looked up which of the two that it is. And it's not meant to be any kind of replacement for this. So if you're here to watch Raanan Hershberg special, go fucking watch that, not this, because this is no replacement. Base is covered.
Sometimes I do jokes about my girlfriend that she finds like a little too personal, you know?
Okay, girlfriend stuff, right on.
So it's a problem. It really is. So we have a couple
Yeah, he's real casual with it. Tino's kind of got this chilling on his person. His little Raanan bump. Holding it way down, like with 2 fingers. He's like, what are you, balancing that fucking thing in your hand? Kind of doing one of these. I don't know that we've seen this before. This is a classy approach, Raanan.
therapist, and we came to an agreement, which I have to follow.
Couples therapist. Okay.
It really is. So we have a couple therapists. And
So let's go back to the setup here. He'll make a joke.
again, here's like a disclaimer. Sometimes I do jokes about my girlfriend that she finds like a little too personal.
Oh, does jokes about his girlfriend on stage that she thinks are a little too personal.
You know? So it's a problem. It really is. So we have a couple therapists, and we came to an agreement, which I have to follow, which is that anytime I do a joke about my girlfriend that she finds like a little too vulnerable, I should say it's about an ex.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
Was that Alan? Does he also do couples work? Is your girlfriend a comedian?
Or I should say it's about my mom, because I do a lot of mom jokes. So
I don't know. I feel like he's setting up a Monopoly guy here. It seems really weird to say, like, oh, well, if it's a joke about your girlfriend, but it's too personal, say it's about an ex or your mom. I have a feeling that that's going to be where the funny comes from.
So that's what this next bit is. So I was going down to my mom last night.
I fucking knew it. You see? That's what, clip it. Couldn't have been more right faster.
This is my mom. This is not my girlfriend.
No, he didn't. You fucking Alan. If that's the kind of advice Alan is giving, we're all in a lot of trouble.
I'm following
These are our freedom of speech fighters, my friends.
the arrangement.
People are loving it, though. He's a lovable guy. I feel like I say that just cursory. I mean it every time I say it. But yeah, he's lovable, you know. He's got that charisma. And I think by the time we're watching a comedy special of anybody's, they're going to have some way of making themselves endearing or charming or charismatic or funny or your underdog-ish-esque. ESQUE.
I did do a couple of therapy with my mom.
Okay.
And I learned a lot in it. I did. I learned that one of the reasons I started dating my mom is
Boy, I swear to God, I never watched that.
because on a subconscious level, she reminds me of my mom.
That's weird with this coded language aside.
She does. She really does.
Okay, so with that out of the way, with his opening joke out of the way, which, by the way, okay, doesn't seem to be a cold open. Well, actually, this might just be an extensive cold open. We're at just about 1:11, but we didn't hear his introduction. We need to come up with a word for that style, or look up what that word might be. Someday soon, we'll give an AI personality to the Shades dog puppet. Chills on a snare drum. We'll give him a whole AI personality. I just gotta wait till it's not controversial.
They're very similar, but that can be a problem because sometimes I'll
'Cause I like to be edgy, but not like when it's edgy.
treat my mom like she's my mom.
I have to go now.
And that'll make my mom very mad. She does not like that, which makes sense. She's not my.
Let's go back.
They're very similar, but that can be a problem because sometimes I'll treat my mom like she's my mom. And that'll make my mom very mad. She does not like that,
He really, really broadcasted this ahead of time.
which makes sense. She's not my fucking mom. She's my mom. You know what I mean? One's my mom and one's my fucking mom. They're two different people. Anyway, my mom really
Okay.
hates that joke. She's not a fan.
Was a cold open. His mom really hates that joke.
Neither of them
Got a little bit of copyright-free, not reggae music.
really. Both of them hate.
You just type in like comedy special introduction instrumental.
That joke.
So not offensive. It's just an electronic drum set and a little ding 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 ding.
So
Baby doo doo doo. That was pretty sick. Little synth bass hit at the end there. Baby doo doo doo.
when I started riding this hour, I thought a good place to begin would be about 8 months.
It's another thing, other than my AI puppet dog, I also intend to have a piano joining me here soon. Sing some songs for you. I'll play along. Put a little musical score. You can't call it not transformational if a guy's playing piano to it.
Months ago, I did Joe Rogan's podcast. Now, I'm not a fan.
He did? What the fuck he did? Episode 2192. Raanan Hershberg. Raanan's recent special was surprisingly good. Okay, so he did put out a special like around a year ago. So he's doing like the Bill Burr model. I should have listened to him on fucking Rogan. That would have been a perfect segue. I had to kind of do a jump from Rogan into Dan Soder. I would have made the story even more well, but you know what? We live and we learn.
But I did it because I'm a hypocrite.
So anyway,
So I did Joe Rogan's podcast.
Right.
Now, I'm not a fan, but I did it because I'm a hypocrite.
not a fan of the show. Oh, right. The whole plunged into fascism thing.
And they put it on YouTube, and I checked the comments, which is a terrible idea. You should never check YouTube comments
There's a hilarious point to it. Joe didn't tell you that on the show.
ever.
He loves to tell people that.
We do it
He was the original never read the comments guy.
as comedians because we want to read the fucking nice comments.
Citation, Red Bar.
But the problem with that is on YouTube, the mean comments are always way meaner than the nice comments are nice. Like a nice comment.
Okay. While we're in the space of being making integrity moves, I, on a recent episode, I think it was the last episode, said, terrible, take a lap. Which is, of course, from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's not a me joke. If I ever make a me joke, or if I ever make not me jokes on here, then I have to make sure I give credit where it's due. I don't want to be like Minnie, who's a guy I went to school with and I thought was very funny until I watched one episode of South Park and was like, this is all Minnie's material. I've been bamboozled.
Comments like, funny stuff. And a mean comments like, you should have died in Auschwitz, you fat fuck.
Okay.
You're like, these
1K likes. Well,
do not balance each other out at all. I am at an ego deficit right now.
okay. Went on JRE, isn't a fan, read the comments, they were mean.
Also, mean comments can sometimes be so accurate, they will haunt you on your deathbed. I still think
Okay.
about this one comment I got 10 fucking years ago. I think about it every day because it was so simple.
I feel like it's gotta be like mean and funny. I feel like if it makes you laugh, then it's probably stick with as far as like comics are concerned. Because if it's just shit like that, like anyway, let's hear what he has to say here. All it said, it was very simple.
That's all it said. It was very simple. It just said, big head, no neck, small arms.
Oh, I'm gonna be watching the credits for this because this is the director, whoever was in charge of direction for that particular shot. Directed by Dave Hogsett. Hogsett. Well, Dave, you did a fantastic job there because that shot is perfect to demonstrate. Raanan's good too because he's kind of standing here like this, full fist, doing this, and he's got his arms pulled up and inherently makes his arms look smaller and his neck look less existent, and he does in fact have a big head. Shout out to the Big Noggin crew. That was funny. That was a funny moment. Kind of a, I don't know, it'd be funny in the room too because of the way he was standing, so props Raanan.
Yeah.
Clever.
You're laughing.
It wasn't just a like, I know what you're thinking, guy in a tunic, but like, it was far more nuanced than that. Cause he could have, you know, the Kill Tony open micer version of that is to just come out and say it like, I know what you're thinking, big head, no arms, or small arms, no neck. People would be like, ah ha 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 ha. But this sets it up, I think, in a way that made it far funnier.
I mean, also,
Well played, Raanan.
like, he fucking nailed that shit. He fucking nailed that. Do you understand how upsetting it is to have someone insult you, but also just perfectly articulate everything you hate about your body? I was looking in the mirror going, that's fucking it! That's it! I was waving my T-Rex arms, that's it!
That's it! He's doing kind of a little act out. Although I don't imagine it's much of a stretch for him, so to speak.
Taking my bobblehead, he nailed it! It was such a perfect amount of words. It was like being roasted by Hemingway. That's what it felt like. So I checked the...
That was interesting. Oh, so we did the cold open. But do we see him grab the mic? Nope. Okay. I'm just curious. Stylistically, it changes from special to special.
Comments on...
You got to figure they're putting the thought into it. You know, a lot goes into these things. And we only ever hear them talk about, like, the writing comedy side of it. But, like, I don't know. I imagine this is, you know, very creative. There are a lot of creative touches one can take, even just in this first 5 minutes of, like, do we do the cold open? Do we have a full intro song? Like, you could be more like the Matt McCusker who did the, like, rollerblading thing, which genuinely added to the laughs on the special. I've seen other people try to do funny and haven't done well with it. So with regards to the introductions to these things, there's a lot of room for to demonstrate one's personality.
on Joe Rogan, and about 10% of them were anti-Semitic, which is fine. I would rather you be anti-Semitic than call me fat any day of the week.
Okay.
I would, and let me tell you why. Because anti-Semitism is just wrong, so it's not as hurtful. You know what's not wrong? Big head, no neck, small arms.
I got a big visual component to this. I'll know when I'm listening back if it holds up on an audio thing. But that's the thing is, you know, these stand-up specials are meant to be enjoyed as video. So you can't really fault them if it doesn't hold up audio only. It's not in the same way you could say with a podcast.
That is painfully right. I can't just be like,
He agrees.
he's just bitter, you know? And scapegoating big-headed, no-neck people.
He's very clever.
Big fat
You can tell he's somebody that reads but knows how to apply what he's picked up
is a bigger problem
versus just using it as a flex.
in my life. It just is. For example, I did not lose my virginity at 26 because I was morbidly Jewish
He said it! That's the titular line! Woo!
all through high school. It didn't help, but it wasn't the main
Which, in its concept, I think is actually someone else's joke. Damn it. I'm a hack.
reason. My doctor then tell me to get less Jewy all the time, you know? You should get less Jewy for your health.
Get less Jew. Okay, so like less fat. All right.
So I did.
It's a phrasing thing. It's a jip pick. That does sound a little too on the nose. I can say it. Don't worry, I can say it. But also probably stick with Nate Pick. Even though my name is Jippo, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Or Druid.
Rogan and we talked about conspiracy theories. Now I'm not really into conspiracy theories, and I know his fans are. So I was very polite on the.
Oh, the JRE fans are into conspiracy theories. Yeah. Okay. 10 years ago, for sure. There are definitely some from back then, or probably gained a few over the years, but like now at this point, it's like it's just fun. It's ever like so many people listen to it, but if I'm checking my own biases, I like to hear conspiracy theories. I don't necessarily like, oh my God, really? I always think they're just interesting to hear. And I do listen to a lot of it. So on paper, I do look like a JRE fan, but it's complicated.
Show. I said, I'm not really into them. I think it's typically the brain finding patterns that don't really exist, and it completely ignores how much incompetence plays in every aspect of.
What microphone is he using? Because that's not the way an SM58 acts. He's shaking it around a lot. I don't recognize it. I'm no expert, but I don't think he's using an SM58 because he's talking like this, and you're not hearing his voice alter at all. Which shout out to whoever did sound. Let me look. This could be edited. Oh, okay. The intro song was by Myb Music. I might have accidentally called your work generic. I only heard a little snippet. I was trying to be snarky, so we good? Closing song. Oh, spoiler alert. How Does by Danielle Harnett. Totally not generic and didn't get it mistaken for. Anyway, we'll see when we get there. So we'll say it edited probably by Mark Hall. He probably did the sound. Sounds good.
The life, but I was very polite, and it led to about 5,000 people commenting that I was a piece of shit.
Like half burped, 1,000 people, which might not have been easy to understand him saying.
But I was very polite, and it led to about 5,000 people commenting.
Yeah, you kind of like, excuse you, Raanan.
That I was a piece of shit, cuck, asshole, motherfucker. And
yeah, but they'll talk mad shit in the comments. That's not what I'm questioning here. But do they say stuff like that? I spend a lot of time scanning them. You can get a lot of good yucks out of all of that. But I don't think you really ever see people being like, fucking piece of shit, fuckhead, blah, 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 blah. Like, to be fair, let me look at this episode of Rogan here. 4 million views, 18,996 comments. So I doubt I see them all. So, all right, let's give him the benefit of the doubt here.
That was very liberating. Because what I realized at that moment is you don't have to be polite anymore. Because
I know, again, that seems like I'm nitpicking, but it is actually important.
people just hate you now if you disagree with them. Which is liberating,
Because straining... The suspension of disbelief is a part of listening to anyone tell any story that you weren't there for. And so when something begins, the more times that story begins to strain credulity, makes you go, really? Really? The farther out of the story you're going to fall, because you trust the storyteller less. And so I think that's part of why I'm always connecting these dots. I'm like, he's saying this thing, like, if it's provably false and it requires me to exclusively suspend my disbelief, then it does cost precious EX points.
now you can just say it whatever you feel. It doesn't matter. So here's how I actually feel.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit.
The moment is you don't have to be polite anymore. And
further.
that was very liberating. Because motherfucker.
Commenting. Okay, it's talking about people commenting.
And that was very liberating.
Wait, was he arguing with people in the comments?
Because what I realized at that moment
If he says yes, then we're going to go read some. Don't worry.
is you don't have to be polite anymore. Because people just hate you now if you disagree with them. Which is liberating, because now you can just say it whatever you feel. It doesn't matter. So here's how I actually feel. People who believe in conspiracy theories are fucking every single...
I wonder what he said. Maybe Rogan wore off on you a little more than you thought, Raanan.
one of them.
Oh, you kind of felt that New York club pull back a little bit. The description here. Okay, comedy sesh comedy club in New York City. It was filmed in May, apparently.
And I know there's...
Filmed in May? Wow. Well, damn, it better be well edited.
some here now. You're fucking sorry. You're
That is so loud, Raanan.
fucking idiots.
Excuse me, Joe.
And I said that after a show recently, and a guy was like, well, half of Americans believe in some kind of conspiracy theory. Are you saying half of Americans are dumb? No, not at all.
I'm saying that more than half of Americans are dumb.
Way more than half of Americans.
Okay.
Are you
Okay.
out of your mind? It's like fucking 80%. Are you kidding me? Half? We should be so lucky.
He is quite red-faced. He's having himself a bit of a yell.
Half? And I don't mind that conspiracy theorists are dumb. The problem is they act skeptical. You're not fucking skeptical.
Which I just realized that I very much appreciate. Because in the case of Ian Edwards, I think that my assessment is that he has a bit of a clash between his onstage persona and the way that he writes. Because he writes a lot louder than he speaks. So when he has these more like, are you fucking kidding me? Moments, like, his dynamic range doesn't go that high. So, are you fucking kidding me? It's just, you kind of lose something. In my opinion, I think Ian Edwards loses a little bit there because of his, like, chill, cool, on stage persona. Versus Raanan, where he can really go anywhere now. He's set like he had a low tone when he's talking about Rogan and he gets himself all worked up. He can work within that entire spectrum now very believably. Versus if Ian Edwards were to like actually break into a yell once throughout his act, it would probably be quite jarring and is, pretty much as factually as it can be breaking character. So good on Raanan.
I saw Mel Gibson on Rogan say he was just skeptical about the vaccines. Mel Gibson is an evangelical Christian. You cannot be skeptical and then pray to a virgin who gave birth to a Jewish wizard.
Wow.
Capitalism works. You are believing shit that is wrong.
Okay, dude, hell yeah.
I know there's some Joe Rogan heads in here tonight, and I know you're all thinking, you're like, well, he's good, man. He has different viewpoints.
Okay, also, this was recorded in May, which may have last year. So this actually was a pretty bold stance then. Throughout 2025, we saw a lot of people, there's the back and forth with the Riggs and Tony, and like, now it's very there was the Marin thing, but that was also after May. People had a big, a lot of people turned after Riyadh, which I think was after May. I want to say he was out here saying this shit publicly, made a special about it way before it was cool to do that kind of thing. I think that's one of the few problems with waiting so long to put stuff out, and I know that from my own experience, is it's like, fuck, when I made that joke, like, that was funny, but we had, went through all the editing, and we composed the music for it, and blah, 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 it comes out a year later, and it's really hacky. So, credit where it's due, Raanan really was ahead of the curve, talking shit about the Rogan sphere.
Points on. That's what matters.
Not the first one to do it in that comedy circle, even, but it was still brave to do when he was doing it. Now it's a little bit more like, okay, like, you hate to, at a point it becomes hackneyed to keep calling things hack, but.
1 week he'll have a Holocaust denier on, but then the next week he'll have a different
Just an overused concept.
Holocaust denier on. We'll argue about the other Holocaust denier. He has different viewpoints, Now, liberals are dumb too, all right? Liberals have their own version of the...
Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess this is one of the dozen or so subjects you tend to hear comedians sort of check off, but that's also that list of a dozen or so things is made up, is the way it is because that's what's contemporarily being talked about, right? So liberals be all, Republican or conservatives be all.
Dumb conspiracy. Now, liberals are dumb too, all right? Liberals have their own version of the dumb conspiracy theory. Liberals' version of that is the horoscope.
A little bit of a reach, but all right. I mean, like, I think that was kind of part of the delay there. People did the math. It's like, oh, that is funny, but also, yeah, maybe this is a transition. Maybe that's what he did.
They're like, I hate the extreme right, which are crazy conspiracy theories. As an Aquarius, I'm not into that shit at all.
All right, but this is a little bit of a mirror image of your Jewish wizard, which was so funny. One of the better jokes I've heard since we started doing Critical Leaks this way. Especially in his delivery. It's not the kind of joke you could, like, retell. It would be like when Rogan tries to talk about Bill Hicks. You're like, that doesn't sound very funny or fun at all. But might be one of the funnier jokes I've heard since I started getting into, we'll say, even my channel.
When Biden dropped out, like a lot
Jewish Wizard's a banger.
of comedians had, like, funny takes. None of them were as funny as a sincere tweet by this guy I knew in college who's, like, really into horoscopes. This is an actual tweet by a real human being.
Okay, I believe that.
And I'm going to read it to you out loud. He wrote, I cannot believe that he dropped out on a full moon. On Capricorn Day.
Oh, wow.
And it's 29th degree. And then he said, in this part I'm fucking obsessed with.
He's way closer on the mic right now, and you can hear that difference in volume a little bit.
He said, and I quote, "You can't make this shit up."
I like that he's using his phone as kind of a, Pokedex prop. Okay, by the way, this reinforces what I was saying about him being he's not yet as popular as these other guys. He has 13.2K subscribers versus Joe List, who I think has more than 10 times that, which is part of what they were talking about earlier. But Raanan knows his worth, and I respect that in a fella.
You can't make it up! Seriously, what are the fucking odds? What are the odds that something not real happened at the same time as something real?
Well, we know why he's tired all the time. There's a lot of energy. I respect that.
It's fucking crazy!
I was not expecting yelling rant comic when I was getting to know Raanan with you guys here.
And I don't want to go out, but this is true. My balls were itching right when Trump got shot at. I swear to God.
Okay.
I swear to God. You know how people's knees act up with the rain? That's my balls with assassination attempts. I swear to God. I started 2 minutes before 9/11.
We switched to a Dutch angle here. Heavy Dutch angle shot from the side when he says this, for context.
Assassination
It has to be important because, whoa.
attempts. I swear to God.
Bam!
Started 2 minutes before 9/11, folks. I swear to God. It's crazy. You cannot make this shit up. People who believe in horoscopes are fucking idiots. I'm sorry. Once again, some of you might be here tonight. You're fucking idiots. Just be religious, you pussies.
That's really funny.
If you're gonna be wrong, have some tradition behind it, you know? And if you're offended, it's not my fault. I'm a Gemini.
Okay, well, you know, a little bit common. We've heard that whole, and if you don't like what I'm saying, it's because I'm a blah 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 rising.
That totally worked, by the way. A couple of you are mad, and then I said that, and you're like, you know what? That is how a Gemini would act.
Take your word for it.
Even though Kamala lost, I'm glad Biden dropped out. I am, because that debate between him and Trump, that was the most embarrassing shit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
This was May of 2025, so all right. Yeah, again, if specials, if he seems to put out about a special a year, so this is made up of his material, which was probably written right in the heat of 2024 or whatever. This was the debate. I'm just saying that it had been a long time, even when this was recorded, but he does yearly specials, so can make room for that.
I was like, really? These are our options? These are our options. A guy convicted of rape and a guy who looks like he just got roofied by a rapist?
Keep cutting to that Dutch angle. It's very Seinfeld, because it's right. It's a nice shot, but you can see, you know, across the shoulders, and then in the background there's the Sesh comedy sign. I imagine Dave Hogsett probably is the DP as well, director of photography.
Biden wobbling on stage. Trump was like, I feel like I'm on a date right now. This is awesome.
Okay, because the okay.
Like taking him home later.
Also, Raanan put this out on his own channel, which again, I respect a dude that believes in himself, and that's what that is. He's betting on him. It's also why he and List kind of butted heads. I touched on this earlier, but like butted heads on, like, he's like, I want to put it on my channel, and List is like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I have 10 times the following you do. We're putting it on mine, which, you know, logistically makes sense, but in Raanan's mind, I like the integrity that he's like, well, no, this is the thing I'm doing. I want it on my channel. I don't care how many people will or won't see it accordingly, you know. And he jumped off of that and moved on when he saw the logic behind what List was saying. But I like the kind of mentality that goes into knowing that's the difference between your two channels and not really caring and still wanting it on your channel, which is probably, if I'm educated guessing, is probably why he didn't put this up on 800 Pound Gorilla Media or one of the comparable channels who will collaborate with comedians and then put it out on their channel because they have a far bigger subscriber base. So I think that's probably why he didn't decide to go with one of those, like, you know, distribution channels. And I respect that about him.
The election for a little bit. The election was between a rapist and a guy who looked like he got roofied by a rapist. And
Okay, kind of already did that, right? Let's go back.
I was like, really? These are our options? These are our options. A guy convicted of rape and a guy who looks like he just got roofied by a rapist?
Okay, that's the first time. It's at 9:14.
She Biden wobbling on stage. Trump was like, I feel like I'm on a date right now. This is awesome.
Right, and that's even still kind of the same joke. It's just, you know, approached a little differently.
Taking him home later. That was the election for a little bit. The election was between a rapist and a guy who looked like he got roofied by a rapist. And America was torn.
Yeah, okay. I think what happened is he had the last bit we just heard is one of the newer ones. So he's going back to tag his base so that he can move on with the way it was originally written. Otherwise, I have no idea why he repeated that word for word.
Sure, they're like, this is really hard. This is tough. The rapist is more alert.
Also respect that he's not like bleeping any of this or hasn't censored any of this. It also feels these days like a principled stance, which seems crazy, but it's, again, a little more of a, as far as comedians are concerned, kind of an integrity move.
He is more alert than the roofie guy. That's typically true of most rapists versus roofie people. I don't know. This is tough. And then we replaced the roofie guy with a woman who was like an annoying laugh. And America was like, this got even harder. This got...
Thinking about Kamala.
And I voted for the woman with the annoying laugh. I did. Which was going against my self-interest. Yeah.
That's so funny. It's like, felt like all the women in the audience. Let's go back and listen to that. Maybe I'm just hearing things.
I voted for the woman with the annoying laugh. I did. Which was going against my
I don't know.
self-interest. Yeah. Because a rapist has never ruined a comedy show of mine.
Okay. Yeah, it's fun. Makes you think a little bit for a second. A rapist never did, but a woman with an annoying laugh has. Okay.
Like, Trump supporters are funny because they're like, liberals are so sensitive. That's what they all say. Liberals are so sensitive. And then you make one joke about Trump and they're like, shut the fuck up! Shut up! You do not talk about my daddy like that! Shut up!
I'm really impressed with his energy, man.
Fucking emotional!
I don't think anyone that's big is doing that. That, like, full-on, like, Rogan kind of tries to because he's channeling his inner, what is it, Bill Hicks or whatever, but he's like, yeah, Raanan does it very, very organically. He's built like the kind of guy that can really pull it off.
Daddy like that! Shut up! You fucking emotional! Easily offendable!
By the way, the mic is down by his waist right now. I'm certain he's not using an SM58. Which, again, just probably poignant, and I wonder if that's his call.
Quit crying! I am not projecting at all! So I'll say one thing about drugs.
Also, that's tough to do just physically speaking on your voice alone.
I'm not a
Try yelling like that for 30 straight seconds and then going on to speak for another full half an hour.
Yeah, but I'll say one thing. He does have a rare quality. You have to admit that, which is that he is a psycho, but he's pretty fucking funny. He is. He is, and that's a rare quality. There's not a lot of funny psychos through history. There just isn't.
Okay. We have heard this approach before, but let's hear his take. Let's hear him out.
Like, Hitler was never slinging jokes. That wasn't...
Okay, I feel like I've heard that, and then they kind of do an impression.
Hitler was never like Eleanor Roosevelt's a 4.
Nice.
Well, I'm just saying, have you seen her? She's fucking dog shit ugly. Am I wrong? I wouldn't fuck her with a 10-foot pole. I'm just saying. If FDR could move, he'd have left that bitch a long time ago. That's all I'm saying.
It's kind of doing the Trump hand a little bit.
And that joke is actually more relevant than it appears because polio is coming back. So that joke. What I like about RFK Jr. is that he's helping me relive my childhood by bringing back all the diseases that used to kill me when I played the Oregon Trail computer game.
Typhoid, diphtheria.
And that was an important part of my life in the 90s, you know? And now he's bringing it back all
Played a lot of Oregon Trail as well.
the time. He's bringing back like fucking typhoid. I'm like, I remember that killed my whole family.
Say diphtheria.
RFK Jr. is trying to create a registry now for like all autistic people. I don't know if you read that. He's trying to create a registry where he's trying to
Who wooed that?
put the name of every autistic person in America into a giant database, which feels pretty autistic.
All right, I have to change something real quick. I'm gonna change this. Yes, change. So, okay, there we go.
To be honest.
Can't have subtitles. Can't have captions when you're watching comedy. Because that punchline might have made me laugh, but I accidentally read ahead. Watch a lot of Korean reality TV, so I'm a subtitles guy.
Feels like you should be number 1 on that list, right?
Going back a little bit.
Which feels pretty autistic, if I'm to be honest. Feels like you should be number 1 on that list, right? I want to put everyone with autism in a giant Excel spreadsheet.
That really is like one of the. It's so crazy, and I'm certain that he's probably one of those people who is like, you know, Austin sucks because they go after these marginalized groups and, you know, they're punching down. But in the same breath, those guys will just throw around autism like it's not a very marginalized and notably sensitive group. Like, I don't know. It seems so weirdly hypocritical to me to be like, you can't make trans jokes, you autistic fuck.
But Trump is funny, he is. And a lot of liberals act like he's not funny, which is frankly gaslighting. It is. A lot of liberals will be like, he's not funny. He makes fun of other people for being unattractive when he's unattractive. That's not funny.
Yeah.
Yes, it fucking is. That is what's funny. He's ugly and he calls other people ugly. That's fucking hilarious. He like thinks he's hot. It's fucking hysterical. He will call other people fat who are less fat than him. Which I totally get, by the way. Good.
Okay.
No, as a fact,
Raanan's you know, what do they call it? Thick 2 C's?
guy, you always assume other fat people are fatter. That's just how it works. That's our psychology. We have no community as fat people. None. I swear to God, every fat person in here, I think you're fatter than me, and you think I'm fat.
Okay, so they switched. We'll go back so we don't mess up his cadence here, but they switched to the Dutch angle again. They've done it a few times, but it's like someone like hit the tripod or something because it's like shaking, or that's an artistic touch.
I swear to God, every fat person in
It's even more chaotic.
here, I think you're fatter than me, and you think I'm fatter than you. That's just how it works. Fat people have no community. Like a black guy goes to a party and there's another black guy, they both nod. If a fat guy goes to a party and there's another fat guy, they both just think, thank God I'm not the fattest piece of shit at this party. Remember we're all like fat positive for 3 years? Remember that? That was fun for like 3 years. We were like, being fat is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. It's gorgeous. It's just...
I think it was like, and then the Lizzo scandal happened with the bananas.
It's a different body type, nothing wrong at all. And then,
Which I don't, causation versus correlation or whatever, but I don't know. I think it coincided pretty closely along with that. Because Lizzo was very much like the spearhead for that, like, body positivity thing.
the minute Ozempic came out, we were like, just joking
Oh, Ozempic. Yeah, okay.
about all that.
Yeah, that tracks.
You call my bluff. I'm just joking.
You called my bluff.
I always thought it was beautiful before I knew there was a kid.
We're coming up to the 14-minute mark. When we get right around the 20-minute mark, we will be doing one of my new favorite segments, and that is a reading from Corey Feldman's memoir, Choreography. So stay tuned.
For it, but there's a cure. No, it's obviously gross,
And he's back down here. He's holding it kind of like this. It is this sort of Schultzian method. Schultzaic. After this, I swear we're going to stop doing New York comics. They've just been working, man. And okay, so this is an interesting point. Tony Hinchcliffe and Lewis, they have that like back and forth thing, which Redact called a heated argument, which is so woefully off base. Oh, God. But they have been going back and forth in text message. It's something that's been described exclusively as Tony's a good friend of mine. Like, this is all in good fun. Like, it's so clearly joking. Now, yes, Redact, the Lemaire thing changed the tone for sure. But that conversation between Tony and Lewis is not heated. And at no point has Lewis ever even allowed it to be portrayed that way or misconstrued that way. And I think you know that, buddy. I don't think that's lost on you. I think you were, might have been reaching a little. Anyway, so with regards to that whole back and forth, Tony says Austin's a better city for comedy than New York, and Lewis obviously disagrees. Lewis lists off a crazy list. Tony fires back with a list that's notably smaller and includes himself. Among other people, a lot of experts would argue aren't funny, end quote. One of them, the tall and funny comedian we mentioned earlier. What's interesting is that I would probably have done a special from an Austinite, but they're just not coming out. Like, I didn't choose. I'm not going out of my way to go through New York comedians. It's just like there's a ton of them, and they're very active at a professional level. Yeah, Burn the Boats came out in 2024, I think. So, like, okay, but other than that, what's the last, like, Austinites? But, Timmy No Breaks we tried to do, and the joke was that he didn't have any jokes. People love that guy. I was one of those people. And then I started looking a little closer.
I never liked the fat pop.
I'm rooting for Tim Stiefler, and hopefully he will make a character that has a little more depth to it next time. Because even Timmy No Breaks on Kill Tony Netflix, I'm a little bit torn because there are two schools of thought there, which is like, if you look at only Kill Tony, then Timmy No Breaks still rules. And maybe that's how it should be looked at. The other school of thought being, well, no, it's Walton Goggins' choice to do Walmart commercials. It's his fault I'm sick of the guy. Timmy No Breaks, it's his choice to do all these podcasts where he kind of like destroys the like he unmasks himself all Scooby-Doo style. And isn't that interesting of a guy, frankly. He's just a young man. Like, he hasn't really been in the business for like 2 or 3 years and did some improv, whatever. Like, it's that other school of thought, again, being he chose to do all of that and overexpose himself. It's his fault I'm sick of him. And I don't know which one I kind of lean toward, but it is important to acknowledge both. Because if you just look at his performances on Kill Tony, like, he's Still the same guy. I will say I think he may have jumped the shark, coming out covered in goo and all that. I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but check it out. I'll say that he may have jumped the shark this time, but if you judge him exclusively from his Kill Tony appearances, he still rules. So, credit where it's due. Let's get back to Hershberg here.
No, it's obviously gross, you know? Just joking.
Going back.
I always thought it was beautiful before I knew there was a cure for it, but if there's a cure... No.
He's talking about being fat.
It's obviously gross, you know? I never liked the fat positive movement, you know? I never did, and I can talk about it. I'm part of the community. I never liked it for one simple reason. If you don't know the fat positive movement, it's, you know, it's usually like women overweight or posting online like, I'm fat and I'm beautiful, and everyone's like, you go, girl, you know? I never liked that movement for one simple reason, okay? Because I don't want people to be proud of me for being okay with being fat.
Okay.
I want people to fuck me. You shit
Oh, like clapter there. Damn right. Hard to the Dutch angle there.
about your pride.
With a big old vignette slapped over it this time.
Fuck your pride. Suck my dick. That's how I feel.
Now, did they shoot it like this, or did they add that in post where it's like, all right, adjust 15 degrees?
I'd rather you fat shame me and
I know the vignette is obviously in post. It's not like James Donald Forbes McCann circular lens cover.
fuck me than not fuck me and feel pride. I'd rather you be like, yeah, give me that dick, you fat little piggy, yeah. Oh, your tits are bigger than mine, yeah. Oink, oink, oink.
Okay.
I mean, I like that for a whole bunch of reasons we don't have to go into, but...
He's getting a little gruffer. He's starting to weights out a bit.
All right, we'll go into them for a second. No, sometimes, you know, in bed during sex, I like for my mom to call me a fat fuck.
Oh, his mom. Okay, call back. There you go. We like those. Alrighty, hit us with an ad. Okay, he's doing the thing, but I'll say this: once we get back into it, I want to analyze his ad placement because you can learn a lot about a fella that way. Boy, these are the unskippable kind, huh? I think that's got to be a choice they can make, right? Because it's not on every video that you can't skip the ads. It'll happen every now and again, but I think that's something that these creators can choose, just like they choose how frequent these ads come up. Yeah, it's pretty evenly dispersed. Not too much to write home about here. It looks like he breaks it up by bit, but that might just be the time codes rather than with the ad breaks. I think the ad breaks, you can't actually spot them on this timeline. I'm kind of realizing in front of all of you. Growth.
I have a Jewish friend who voted for Trump, and I asked why, and he said, because Trump cares about Israel. And whatever your politics...
That was a crazy jump. What did we just go from? Body positivity to Israel?
Mom to call me a fat fuck.
Oh, his mom. Okay, so that'll be Act 1, it looks like. About 15 minutes into about a 45-minute special. So looks like a 3-act structure he's going for. Because, yeah, that was actually, very well done. In that he used something from his very first joke to tie up his very last joke of the act. That, in my opinion, is one of the more succinct ways to use a callback, rather than like throwing it out there, which can be helpful to remind the audience, remember this is the thing. So then when you're setting yourself up so that when you do use it as your punctuation mark for your act, it hits even harder because it's more fresh in the memory. Anyway, at 15:39, he's moving on to Act 2, which is a hard... There's no transition, really. Just a hard jump into Jewish friend voted for Trump.
I have have a Jewish friend who voted for Trump, and I asked why, and he said, because Trump cares about Israel. And whenever you're in politics, it's really funny to imagine Trump caring about something.
What is with this lens? Is there some schmutz on here? What is this?
Like, what does that even look like? Trump's just like, only three things
I just cleaned my glasses.
that matter in life. Money, whores, and a homeland for the Jews.
Let's go back. I got distracted by this weird Vaseline shot.
Like, what does that even look like? Trump's just like, only three things that matter in life. Money, whores, and a homeland for the Jews.
Okay.
The three things I equally care about. Yes, I've ripped off everyone I've ever met, but how else are you gonna raise money to plant trees in Tel Aviv? You got a better idea? Do you have a better idea?
Okay.
I was performing in Germany not too long ago, and I was worried about performing there because of and
This kind of connects, the Jewish friend voted for Trump, kind of working out of the Trump stuff, it seems like. We'll see.
and I was like, I don't know, how am I gonna feel even having them laugh? You know, what's that gonna feel like? I don't know what this says about me. I got my first laugh, and I was like, it's water under the bridge. Honestly, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, he got his first laugh from Germany. All right, I am a little distracted because I have to use the restroom. So I'll leave you with some copyright-free reggae music, and I will be back in one shake, perhaps two shakes, but it won't be longer than two. So let's get back into Raanan Hershberg. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate you. So, Raanan Hershberg, let's go back to the top act two here, shall we?
I have a Jewish friend who voted for Trump, and I asked why, and he said, because Trump cares about Israel. And whenever you're in politics, it's really funny to imagine Trump caring about something. Like, what does that even look like? Trump's just like, only three things that matter in life. Money, whores, and a homeland for the Jews. The three things I equally care about. Yes, I've ripped off everyone I've ever met, but how else are you gonna raise money to plant trees in Tel Aviv? You got a better idea? Do you have a...
Even if he goes on to absolutely tank the rest of this special, I could say with a full, big old head full of confidence, I could say that he is highly underrated. I think Punk Time's fucking you a little bit, Raanan. Should listen to Joe List, apparently. But even just that Act 1 was very, very well done. I very much enjoy it. And also you can feel he's kind of brought it back down. Now, this was the advice people were giving to Drew Nickens. Drew Nickens needs to sit down and watch some Raanan Hershberg. Drew, my boy, sit down and watch some Raanan Hershberg, because that that bigness, once Drew finds his passion and the thing that believably makes him go over the top, he has such a powerful high end. It really, I think it can really be, he can really drive home his own style. And I think studying what Raanan does is a good way to do that, because he's nailing that ebb and flow, like way up here, and then organically work your way back down. And I know Drew is aware of the need his act has for that, but specifically Raanan.
A better idea. I was performing in Germany not too long ago.
Again, it'll be speaking from an entirely different perspective, but as far as like the dynamic range, the way he kind of crescendos, and when he's way up here at forte, and then he works his way decrescendos back down to piano. Some musical talk for you.
Oh,
and you know me, I love musical talk.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a flat D, key of 7.
Love musical talk.
And I was worried about performing there because of and I was like, I don't know, how am I going to feel even having them laugh? What's that going to feel like? I don't know what this says about me. I got my first laugh and I was like, it's water under the bridge, honestly, it's fine.
Oh, in Germany, right?
Fine. Who even remembers start of the Holocaust? It was so long ago. They were the best crowds. They were amazing. Because I'm Jewish, so they just laughed at everything I said. Because they felt really, really guilty. It was
German guilt.
Awesome. I said I was Jewish. I got a standing ovation. It was incredible. And anytime a joke bombed, I'd be like, Auschwitz.
All right, not to nitpick you, but you did just say that all the jokes killed. Okay, so one of them had to not kill. At least one of them had to not kill. It's nitpicking, but the storytelling element was a little off there. Credulity strained.
You gotta hand it to Germany. They've done their shit together. They have. I was there. I didn't see them kill one fucking Jew. They've got their shit together. They pulled a 180, or not a 180, but a 180 would be the mass-producing Jews. That would be a 180.
180 would be them mass producing. Oh, okay, because math. Yep. He does allow you ample time to do the math. That's the second time he's had a little bit of a thinker, where he doesn't point out the punchline. You kind of have to. He leads you to it. But then he allows, again, ample time for the horse to drink the water after having led it to its common expression.
That's just a mathematical fact. A 180 would be like a factory producing 16,000 Jews a day for a whole year. And then at the end of that, you're like, all right, you're back to square one. You pulled a 180.
He's way more like this now. I told you, it'll fuck up your voice.
But they have gotten their shit together. You gotta hand it to them. If you even draw a swastika now in Germany, they'll throw your ass in jail. They used to fucking love swastikas. And now you even try to draw one, they'll throw your ass in jail without even hesitating. I fucking love that. It's even though they're no longer Nazis, they're still kind of being Nazis about it.
Okay. That's a funny way to turn it on its ear.
It's they still don't get it. It's kind of adorable, really. It's just within them, they're we're no longer Nazis. In fact, who even draws a swastika? Onto the train right now! Get on the trains, you Nazi bastards!
Get on the trains, you Nazi bastards.
Schnell Nazis! That was close. I almost did a Roman salute. I gotta be careful. No.
Is that what that was? Was that a Roman sign? I'm not familiar with that term.
When Elon Musk did that.
I was just going to say I call it the old Elon Musk.
Remember he tried to pander to his ancient Roman Empire base? And you gotta get that fucking ancient Roman Empire base on your side, And when he got called out on it, the salutes, he had a quote, and I love all his quotes because they're always amazing. He had a quote where he said, "This is just a dirty trick by the media to bring me down."
The media.
And once again, whatever your politics, it is extremely funny to imagine that as a dirty trick by the media. Like they're all just gathered one night, the media, and one of them's like, "I got a real dirty trick."
I got a real dirty trick.
And they're like, "What is it?" He's like, "Are you ready for this? It's dirty." The next time Elon Musk does a Hail Hitler salute back to back on national television, we're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god.
That's a dirty trick, right? That's dirty. It's a dirty trick.
God, that's funny. That was fantastic.
Anyway, just gotta wait for him to do that Hail Hitler salute back to back, and then the plan is activated. There's a lot of anti-Semitism out there, but it's interesting because it's hard to be an anti-Semite in a way because Judaism is a big part of all our culture, whether we realize it or not. So it's hard to be at least consistent if you're an anti-Semite.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know if you know this, but Jews, we created circumcision. Did you know that? That's us. That's in the Bible. In the Bible, God said to the Jews, "I want you to cut off all the tips of your dicks." And the Jews were like, "Sure, but could you have just created us without the tips? You gave us the tips. This was your idea. You were like, I'm going to give them tips, okay? Now you're giving them to us, and now you're asking us to cut them off. How about you just don't give us the tips? This is the most roundabout way to have us remove our tips. I don't get. Did you forget? You were like, oh, we didn't give them tips. Oh, we gave them tips? Fuck. I'm going to have a really awkward conversation with them now. I just don't get it, Why? Like, did you think it would look good? And then you saw it and you're like, that ain't right. I'll tell you that much. I've never seen a dick, but that ain't it. That is not.
I've never seen a dick, but that ain't it.
It is missing something, I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what it said. And now most people are circumcised whether they're fucking Jewish or not. Sir, are you Jewish? Yes. Fuck. All right. Anyway. Specifically said no Jews in the fucking front row. I was very fucking specific about that. No one anyone looks Jewy, do not put them in the front fucking row. It's fucking up my crowd work bit. You're also Jewish? I like how you're just giving up. I'm Jewy too, don't even fucking try me. I wasn't, I saw your look, it's fucking.
Yeah, he's kind of doing the Schultz. I don't know how long he's been at it. Maybe this is a Raanan thing and Schultz just did it big. But I'm almost certain it's Schultz that grabs it like way down here and it's kind of like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
I bet Hasidic Jews don't even ask you if you're Jewish. They just
or mislead me if you feel. I probably won't look it up.
Put the shit on you, right, on the street.
Rogan my way right into believing you, taking you at your word.
I saw your look. It's fucking. I bet Hasidic Jews don't even ask you if you're Jewish. They just put the shit on you, right, on the street. Yeah, let me put this to fill it on. I'm not Jewish. I don't fucking believe you, and that's not true. All right. You look very scared and Asian, so I'm gonna ask you. You're not seeing this look, but he's like.
It's kind of doing like.
Don't ask me. You're not Jewish, are you? All right, fucking, that's right. Are you circumcised? Yeah? Cultural appropriation. That's fucked up. Would have gotten there a lot quicker without your fucking Jewish ass fucking up my joke. Fucking hate Jews, you know? I get anti-Semitism because it really does feel good to be like, fucking Jews.
Okay. It's really, really funny.
It was like, it
Also, yeah.
just feels...
That was a good demonstration of how he can be very organically funny. Because I think that actually happened. I don't think that was a plant. We've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of different types of plants in these specials. We've had people who, different types of crowd work, and some of which involves a person being one degree of plant or another. Which is to say, some people have them, like, they'll pick someone specific in the crowd who they know, who they told to say a thing. They'll be like you, like, what do you do for work? Or, what was it? Charlie Barron's was the one. Charlie Barron's was the most egregious about it. Because he's like, what about you? Do you have a dog? The guy's like, yeah. And he's like, what's your dog's name? And the guy's like, Coors. And he's like, Coors? And then he riffs for like 5 minutes. Quote, riffs for like 5 minutes about how crazy a name Coors is. And he had act outs and everything. So it was very, 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 very clearly a plant. Charlie knew how popular crowd work is, and so he's not good at it, so he tried to like bake it into his specials so he could have the clips because he's a big YouTube guy. He knows what's up. Then there are some people, I think when it's done well, you're going to get one of two answers, and you know how to react to either answer quite well. I think that's probably when it's at its best. Well, maybe not its best. I think that's when it's at its most like succinct, because you didn't have to plant anybody, but you're asking yes or no questions, and if yes, then this, if no, then this, flowchart style. But Raanan there, like, maybe he's done it before, and maybe he's just like looked and found like a Jewish guy, but there's so many things that had to go exactly that way that are seemingly out of his control. Things he could control, but it would take more energy to contrive that situation than it would to just like flow with it. And I'm pretty sure it was the latter with Raanan there, which is good. And it's not super hacky crowd work. It was just kind of, dabbling a little bit with the crowd work to sort of make your point on this greater bit. Let's go back a little bit here.
Joke! Would have gotten there a lot quicker without your fucking Jewish ass fucking up my joke.
See, like, the wording isn't perfect. Like, it seems very natural.
Fucking hate Jews, you know? I get anti-Semitism because it really does feel good to be like, fucking Jews. Like, it just feels good just...
What will the neighbors think?
Be like, fucking Jews. I'll never get that feeling of just being like, the fucking Jews. So most people are circumcised, whether they're Jewish or not, which is interesting to me, because that means most anti-Semites in America are circumcised. A Jewish custom. That's got to be a real conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, okay.
I almost feel bad for them. That's got to suck. To be anti-Semitic in your heart, but know your dick is Jewish? That's like if Tucker Carlson had a giant afro he had to comb down every day.
Okay. I don't know enough about Tucker Carlson and his racial views to really understand that. I've just seen him referred to in like small blips and blurbs.
Sometimes people say something's like anti-Semitic, and I'm like, I don't know if that's it.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. We are about halfway through this, maybe a little over. So, what we're going to do now is our famous reading from Corey Feldman's memoir, Choreography. So I took my bookmark out as a part of a bit. But to summarize, as I get back to our spot here, Corey Feldman was just finding out that Corey Haim has passed away. Now, they were quite close. There's like a documentary that came out about them, The Two Coreys, I believe it was called. Corey Haim died of an accidental drug overdose, and the introduction, at least the parts that I was reading, were largely about that. But now we're going to chapter 1. I'll have a sip of my Mio here real quick. Let's embark. Chapter 1. I am 3 years old, sitting at the small round breakfast table in our tiny kitchen, eyeing the half-open box of cereal. There's a toy surprise buried somewhere inside, and I'm itching for it. I bounce my feet impatiently atop the wood rung of my chair, feel a cold dribble of milk slip across my lip and down my chin. Strange sentence. As consumed as I am by that prize, however, I sense that there is something different, something even more exciting about today. It's still early morning in the San Fernando Valley. The sun is streaming through the little stained glass window above the doorframe, casting a rainbow of shadows across the linoleum floor of the foyer. But the whole house is already buzzing with energy. Booby, my childhood nickname for my mother's mother, is a slightly more anatomical version of the term boobé, the Yiddish word for grandmother. What am I excited about? Okay, I've had to do the Corey voice for it. Today is your first commercial. My first commercial? I asked between bites. The things before cartoons on TV? Yes. Now finish your breakfast, please. You don't want to be late on your first day. I scoop up the last few spoonfuls of cereal, slide down my chair, and pad down the hallway to my bedroom, where my clothes have been carefully laid out for me. Even though I didn't know much about commercials, or commercials, as I would call them for the next few years, I understood that this was a serious business. I was a professional now. At 7, my older sister Mindy was already a seasoned actress. She was the youngest cast member of the 1970s-era kids show, the all-new Mickey Mouse Club, and often spent 2-week-long stints at Disneyland in Anaheim, performing bad renditions of Beatles songs in bright satin jumpsuits and oversized mouse ears for throngs of screaming preteen fans. Long sentence. As the family breadwinner, Mindy was granted a wide berth by my parents. She was enrolled in a fancy private school and, when she wasn't working, usually locked herself away in her room. I used to spend hours outside that door, straining to hear the music that sometimes rang out from her tiny record player. My favorite was the Wizard of Oz soundtrack. But when she was performing, I was generally allowed to wander through the theme park alongside her and her teenage castmates. I watched, awestruck, as she navigated those early brushes with fame, signing autographs and posing for pictures, mobbed by her very own circle of groupies. I thought that being a Mouseketeer meant that she had the perfect life. It made sense, then, that by following in her footsteps, my life was about to become special, too. I'll go ahead and leave that there. Forgot to turn on my reggae music, but I was just so enthralled by choreography, I forgot that was part of the segment. Anyway, back to Raanan Hershberg.
An afro, he had to comb down every day.
Tucker Carlson's afro. We're kind of doing one of these, maybe working our way back up the hill. Let's see.
Sometimes people say some things like that.
I think I would hate to have to diagnose this with firstactitis, which sort of speaks for itself, but you see it quite a bit in these specials where they come out guns freaking blazing for like 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes or so, depending on the length of the special or the act structure that they're using. But after Act 1, it kind of like, and then it sort of like plateau, goes downward, and then sort of plateaus downward again. And A lot of the time that'll lead to very blue humor, where they'll start talking about their bodily functions or their genitalia. I'm not a fan. So hopefully that's not what Raanan is doing. Hopefully he's just taking a breath, because he is a bombastic type of fella.
Anti-Semitic, and I'm like, I don't know if that's anti-Semitic, you know? Like, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people, or I don't know if a lot, but a decent amount of people think that Harry Potter is anti-Semitic. Did you know this? Because of the goblins in the bank. They're like,
oh yeah, I raised this point, and I wonder if he's going to make the same one, so I want to throw this out there. But someone was telling me that, and I was like, I feel like we need to be careful with that, because, like, at a point, aren't you being a little more anti-Semitic than, like, just having goblins run Gringotts? It's like, at what point are we just being like, these big-nosed money havers, she's talking about the Jews? It's like, at what point have we crossed the line? I needed to get that out there before we watch Raanan, because I'm wondering if he's going to make a similar point. Because it seemed crazy to me because that was one of the, like, anti-Rowling points that was being flung around quite a bit. I always wondered about that. Like, at what point are we being more offensive here?
offensive Jewish stereotype. Here's my thing. That's because of the goblins in the bank. They're like, that's an offensive
Goblins in
Jewish
the bank, see?
stereotype. Here's my thing. Isn't it anti-Semitic to think that's anti-Semitic?
Thank you! Okay. Whew. Got a little... That's exactly my fucking point. Yeah, bravo, man, bravo. It sounds a lot better coming from you, my guy.
Isn't that the anti-Semitic part? To just be like, well, clearly.
I'm so glad I took the time to make that point, because I would be losing my mind right now. That was exactly what I was saying. Glad I spoke up.
Clearly, those goblins are Jews. What else?
Right.
What else could they be? They're goblins who work at a bank. They're big-nosed, ugly goblins.
See?
Who work with money. It couldn't be more obvious.
By the way, after I brought this point up to the guy, mum was the word after that.
Don't get me started on these fucking Oompa.
In fact, we ended up going to Universal Studios, and they have a really cool, like, Wizarding World section or whatever. And we got to the point where we're in, like, Gringotts while you're waiting in line. You go through, like, Gringotts or whatever. I kind of gave him a look. We saw the goblin. I was like, it went unacknowledged, and that's appropriate.
Oompas, bunch of short dudes singing and dancing. That's an offensive Puerto Rican stereotype.
Oompa Loompas.
And don't get me started on these fucking Oompa Loompas. Bunch of short dudes singing and dancing. That's an offensive Puerto Rican stereotype.
I'm so glad he made that point.
I grew up in Kentucky. I grew up poor, Jewish poor, which is upper middle class for anyone else. And I only had one anti-Semitic experience, which I'll tell you about. I was 15. I was walking with my friend. He was also Jewish. He had a yarmulke on. And a car drove by. And a woman rolled down the window. And she said, "Hey, Jews, here's a quarter." And she threw a quarter out the window.
What?
Which was fucked up. Because they had to pick it up. And that's not a Jewish thing. That's a human being thing. All of you would have picked up that quarter.
Roll for it. It's true.
That is not a Jewish thing. That's a human being thing. Everyone picks up a quarter. Elon Musk picks up a fucking quarter, okay?
It's a quarter.
And that's the problem with anti-Semitism. We act like only Jews care about money. Everybody cares about money! It's not like it's just Jews and everyone else is a fucking hit.
It's funny, because he knows this well. His mic control is on point. I mean, it's as on point as it could be given his style. Because, like, when he's talking, he's right here. And when he knows he's about to yell, he'll pull it way down here. It's smart. I mean, it's clearly not his first rodeo.
Hippie! Have you seen the world? Everyone cares about money. Everyone would have picked that quarter up. That's not a Jewish thing. That's a human being thing. As a human being, not as a Jew, I had no choice but to bend down and pick it up and put it in a
how did she know? Not that I don't believe him. I just like, holy shit. If it's like that, that's wild. I only ever made fun of my Jewish friends like we all made fun of each other. Like I'm the dirty gypsy and like, you know, it's like that's how we played. I didn't know it was like that. A quarter? What was that for? Was she just alone in her car and wanted to like own these two Jewish kids? It's like, got your asses. Was it just a car full of raucous anti-Semites? Like, this will be hilarious.
I don't know.
This will really stick it to them.
Humanity, we're not great, you know, we're full of prejudice.
Okay, so we went from, not a Jewish issue to a human issue, and now he's on to humanity. Solid transition.
And cruelty, we're not great, you know? I mean, we have good parts and bad parts, you know? Well, here's a good part of humanity.
Hard at it right there.
Like, my girlfriend at home has a shampoo.
We're going back. I have to see it.
Parts and bad parts, you know? Well, here's a good part of humanity.
It's I think from the same night, but just a weird hard cut.
Like my
And again, there have been lots of, obviously there's been a lot of editing. This editor pretty solid, pretty good at what they do. But again, it takes being good 90% of the time to really realize that 10% of the time where you cut between words really hard like that and there's nothing to really cover it. And I feel like,
you know, I mean, we have good parts and bad parts, you know? Well, here's a good part of humanity.
he kept the room tone going, so like you can hear it. The room tone stays consistent. By the book, he did this fairly by the book. It's just like a pretty hard cut. I'd like to wonder why.
Not great, you know? I mean, we have good parts and bad parts, you know? Well, here's a good part of humanity. Like,
yeah, he doesn't. He's different shades of flush too. I'm not sure this is from the same night. I don't know. Oh, you know how I can tell? Oh, fuck. Can't see his water. Well played, editor.
You know? I mean, we have good parts and bad parts, you know? Well, here's a good part of humanity. Like, my girlfriend at home has a shampoo.
We're doing a slow zoom in now. Yeah, you can see why it took almost a year to come out.
It says cruelty-free on it, right?
So it's not intended to be a slam.
Which is great for her. She's a hero. Party.
Go back.
Humanity. Like, my girlfriend at home has a shampoo that says cruelty-free on it, right? Which is great for her. She's a hero.
She's a hero.
And that's great. That's great. That's great. That's a good part of humanity. It's great that we're making humane products that people are buying to try to be better. That's the good part of humanity. Here's the fucked up part about humanity. What is going on with the other shampoos?
That's really funny. Yeah, see, he's got... I like his observations. He has a very funny mind, and he's articulate enough to bring those funny thoughts out into reality in a way that one can track. It's not, you don't have to think too hard to follow him, but he's kind of highbrow in a lot of ways, and he hasn't gone like solid blue. I think that's. He does not. If nothing else, we can rule out the diagnosis of first actitis. Because we're well into the second act. We're 26:49 of 43:30.
That cruelty is just an ingredient in most shampoos. Do we even deserve to survive as a species?
Cruelty is an ingredient in most shampoos.
We can't even create hair products without committing atrocities. Cruelty should not be an ingredient in any shampoo. And you certainly shouldn't have to pay extra to not have it in there. At least the cruelty should be the extra charge, like a tax. Why is fucking cruelty part of most shampoos? I mean, obviously it has to do with lab animals, but what the fuck is going on there? It's just shampoo.
It's rough.
Just some, like, scientist talking to his underling, like, did you put the shampoo on the rabbit's head? Like, I did. Did it clean the rabbit's head? It did. Okay, great. Shoot his family in front of him right now. I want you to shoot his entire...
Another shout out to the editor here. They did the classic like Gollum and Smeagol conversation where it's the same characters having a conversation with two parts of their own mind or whatever. So this party A talks from over here, and then you cut to party B who talks from over here. So it seems like they're talking to one another. The editor took the time the editor/director took the time to do that between these two characters that Raanan is portraying here. It's good attention to detail. It's a solid touch. Who's this? Hogset? Where's the editor here? Hogset and Hall. My new favorite sketch troupe.
Family in front of him. And then I want you to electrocute his balls for the next hour and a half.
Let's go back. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
It did?
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. Shoot his family in front of him right now. I want you to shoot his entire family in front of him. And then I want you to electrocute his balls for the next hour and a half.
Electrocute, okay.
That's how we create the silkiness of herbal essence.
Did it clean when you put it on its head? It did. This is a really fucking funny bit.
I went to Auschwitz a couple months ago with my girlfriend, and it's true. I was thinking about proposing to her there, but it would have been fucked up, but it would have been fucking hilarious, you know?
The lights just went out.
Like the lights just went out.
I feel like the lights just went out.
I feel like we should really maybe fix that before I continue.
Good on him for leaving this in, man. Well, good on him for being able to handle it in such a way that it was worth keeping in. Hey, the lights are back. He's got an annoyed look on his face, but let's see if he can stay in the pocket. Stick and move. What you got?
Problem is, I shat my pants right when that happened, so...
Okay, nice.
So we got about 15 minutes left, and then I can change.
So there is about 15 minutes left of this.
So,
Which also bodes well, because whenever you hear people talk about... I don't know. You got to wonder how much of these specials they're cutting out. And it seems like he had this dialed right in at 43:30.
yeah, I was in Auschwitz with my girlfriend. At one point, I don't have a joke for this, but this happened as a comedian. I can't not tell you. I have like an obligation to tell you.
Yeah, really like that he kept that in. That's Eeks points.
We were on the
10 points to
door.
Hershberg door.
It was freezing. It was like 0 degrees outside.
Like Harry Potter.
And we were walking around outside, and at one point the tour guide goes, all right, next we're gonna go inside into the crematoriums. And the American next to me went, thank God, it's fucking freezing out here.
I like that he clarified American. Just because he was saying how sensitive the Germans are to it.
And that was an important moment in my life. So I've been pretty hard on America lately, you know? But in that moment, I was like, you know what? We still got it. We still got it. Canadian ain't doing that shit, you know? So yeah, I'm down on humanity, but I like to remind myself that
Okay, stick with humanity this whole time. That's cool. Staying on theme.
even though we're shitty, we used to be a lot shittier, and that gives me a little hope as America collapses. It does. We used to be a lot shittier. I was reminded of this recently. My cousin had a bat mitzvah. I don't know if you know bat mitzvahs, but when you're 13, you read a chapter from the Bible to the whole congregation. And my cousin, she's Reformed. I grew up conservative. In conservative Judaism, you do the whole service
Okay.
in Hebrew. Reformed Jews, they do it all in English. They're like the liberal hippie Jews, you know?
Okay.
They are. There's always a lesbian rabbi at every synagogue. Every synagogue. It's like a law. It's like you know how lifeguards have to be hot, like lesbian rabbi at every. They're like eating out their girlfriend on stage during the ceremony.
Okay.
And
that voice too.
They do the whole service in English. So my cousin had to read a chapter from the Bible to the whole congregation. Now the problem with that is not every chapter in the Bible.
So he's doing a lot of moving now. Like, the problem with that, yeah, you can see why he doesn't use the 58, because clearly the microphone he's using picks up sound from a wider radius, whereas the SM58 is a lot, the cone is a lot smaller. And that's enough of me speaking out of my depth on microphones. Thank you.
Bible really holds up. So this is 100% true. 13-year-old girl on stage, 300 people in the congregation, her parents smiling proudly behind her. And I guess she had never seen that chapter before.
All right, let's go back a little bit, because I don't know, was this the conservative or the reform?
So this is 100% true. 13-year-old girl on stage, 300 people in the
I
congregation,
think she was the reform one.
her parents smiling proudly behind her. And I guess she had never seen that chapter before, because she opens it and she looks down and she's like,
Okay, so she looks down at it and goes, and then looks up and like smiles at the congregation.
when a slave offends you,
Oh no. He set this up so well.
you cut off his right arm. That's what you do. If he offends you again, you execute him.
Oh, God.
These are the laws I, God, have commanded you. And I'm in the back going, yeah, that's why we do this shit in Hebrew.
Yeah, okay, so none of that information he provided us with was superfluous. We needed all of that information, and he gave us just enough of that to fully understand this punchline. Which is to say, well told, sir.
Renovate.
All right, I feel like he earned this ad. He put his time in. It's another unskippable. Looks like it's going to be 2 unskippables, but he did take the time. It looks like, as I was pointing out earlier, it looks like he kind of took the time to put these between jokes. Oh, second one skippable. We on. See a sip of water. Must be getting into Act 3 here. Just kind of letting it hang, a little bit of a pause.
So it's a weird time to be a Jew. It's a weird time to be a liberal Jew with Israel,
So liberal Jew with Israel. Yeah, I mean, all of this is still on theme from the other things he's been discussing. Everything's kind of been adjacent to mostly those themes, with the exception of, the body, him being fat or whatever, his words, and how he's down on humanity. But it's pretty much all been within that realm.
You feel very conflicted. I hate the Israeli government. I hate the war, but I'm also very aware of the anti-Semitism, and it's tough. I've been trying to learn about Israel more. I've been trying to read an objective book about Israel.
You keep hearing about that. Who was I listening to? Was talking about that? It might have been him.
But it's very hard.
I don't think he was like repeating bits or anything.
Read an objective book about Israel. Turned out the book I read by Yehuda Ben Schwartzberger
Schwartzberg, is that okay?
had a very different perspective than the one by Mohammed Zahid.
Okay.
Here's a new rule. No Jew or Muslim should ever be able to write a book about Israel. We need to get like a Filipino to write a book about Israel.
A spattering of applause there. people a little uncomfortable. But
Yeah, everyone's very angry. I get it. I was watching the news, maybe 8 months ago, and I saw these student protesters in Colombia. And I support the right to protest. And these cops came in, and I saw one of the student protesters yell at a cop to get a real job. Whatever you feel about cops, that's gotta hurt. That's got really. That's definitely the cops' rock bottom, you know? To be told to get a real job by an undergrad philosophy major. Get a real job, okay? Now,
oh, Columbia, like the college?
excuse me, I'm late for my class. The lyrics of
I
Taylor
thought he meant like Colombia.
Swift. But yeah, it's hard. Everyone's picking sides. No one has any real nuance. Do you all know the porn star Mia Khalifa? Lebanese porn star.
What?
Any real nuance? Do you all know the porn star Mia Khalifa? Lebanese porn
Who went?
star, big nuance. Do you all know the porn star Mia Khalifa? Lebanese porn star, big tits.
So weird.
That's
It almost sounds like it was imposed.
neither, hair
Is that you, Hogseth? Hogseth?
there, but I'm trying to paint a picture. And
That's Hogseth's DVD director commentary.
trying to paint a picture. And that's neither, here nor there, but I'm trying to big tits. Do you all know the porn star Mia Khalifa? Lebanese porn star, big tits. That's neither, here nor there, but I'm trying to paint a picture. And
Okay.
so during October 7th, during the massacre, she tweeted out something kind of celebrating the death of the civilians. And I get being really angry at Israel, but anyone
Woof.
celebrating the deaths of civilians on either side, it's disgusting, And
Word.
it was really
Well, you can cut the tension with a knife. Listen to that.
the deaths of civilians on either
It
side.
was just all room tone for a second.
It's disgusting, And it was really
Ooh.
it was really hard for me to hear.
I think they know he's doing like an act out or something. I don't really know what everyone's laughing at. I get that it's like a pseudo serious moment, but like, okay. I think they're just laughing because it feels a little uneasy in there.
It was really hard for me to hear.
Okay. God, that motherfucker was laughing right into the microphone. They probably have 3 set up for audience and room tone. And that person was clearly all the way to the left or the right, because it stereo-wise is coming out the left speaker.
I've been a really big fan of hers.
I've been a really big fan. Oh, she's a porn star. Okay.
Like a really big fan.
That Dutch angle is sitting there bouncing, man. It's doing this. Did that work? I feel like that worked. This has been a reenactment here on Critical Geeks.
And I know what you're gonna say. I know you're supposed to, try and separate the artists.
The death of the artist theory.
From their hardcore pornography, but it's hard. It's very difficult. How could I, in good conscience, continue masturbating to this woman while she's getting gangbanged by an entire college basketball team and still feel good about myself?
It's really funny.
The answer is reluctantly.
Okay.
But it's tough, I'd be watching her getting bukkakeed on,
Jesus Christ.
while her husband's like gagged in the corner of the barn. I'd be like, something about this just doesn't feel right, Just feel icky right now, I don't know why dick's at my hip. I don't know, but anyway.
Just kind of doing like this.
I feel like nowadays having it here is like a sex crime, so I put it here. And I'm just coming in this Jew's face. That's fine. And
Look, callback. Again, I feel like that was natural.
So I stopped masturbating to her. I couldn't do it. And, you know, the dick has more tribal allegiance than you think. And, I started...
Even when he switches hands, he goes way down here. It'll make sense, though, you know, it's... Pull it farther away by reaching... No, that's the opposite.
I'm masturbating to an Israeli porn star.
Spatial reasoning. Not my area of expertise.
Bracha. Chemda.
What's he on about?
I started masturbating to an Israeli porn star. Bracha. Chemda.
Just spelled CH. Fun fact.
And I do not like being ideological about porn. I don't like to do it. But I started doing it, you know, and, you know, it was good, you know. I feel like my mom can finally be proud, you know.
Okay.
You know, and,
I mean, yeah, he's getting a lot of mileage out of this parallel.
just that I'm doing something Jewish, you know, and she was good. She was a good porn
Just the whole, like,
star. She was really
this, we should be ashamed, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
into BDSM. I don't know if you know that. It's like, you know, and
We'll go back a little.
just that I'm doing something Jewish, you know, and she was good. She was a good porn star. She was really into BDSM. I don't know if you know that. It's like bondage, domination, sadism, masochism. She wasn't so
Another more uncomfortable giggles.
much into BDS.
Okay.
Boycott, divest, sanction. She was not.
Boycott, divest, what?
Boycott, divest, sanction. She was not.
Boycott, divest. I don't know. Might be Hebrew. I don't know. It's hard to understand. Can't tell. One more time.
Boycott, divest, sanction. She was not.
Divest, sanction. Yeah, I don't know.
So I was masturbating to her. It was going well. And then one day,
Jesus Christ. I got going a little bit the way I'm styling on this, kind of, but the joke isn't, look how gross this is. It's, I can't quite put my finger on why this doesn't, you know, trigger my delicate 9-year-old sensibilities.
flying to Texas. I'm on the plane.
Probably because it's a dude. I'll check my biases.
And it's shaking. And I'm afraid of turbulence. And now I've actually recently learned a trick, like an exercise.
It's not, though. I feel like maybe it's getting into biology stuff that bothers me. If he starts talking about the physical mechanics rather than referring to it as an act to contribute to the story, then it'll probably raise an eyebrow.
To keep you from being afraid of turbulence. If anyone's afraid of turbulence, you can try it. Next time you're on a plane and it's shaking, just close your eyes. Think about all the dreams in your life that didn't come true. And eventually get so...
It's almost like they're using the smudged lens to kind of simulate that, like, smoky bar room feel.
sad, you're kind of okay dying.
Yeah, let's go back.
Next time you're on a plane and it's shaking, just close your eyes. Think about all the dreams in your life that didn't come true. And eventually get so sad, you're kind of okay dying.
Okay.
It works really well. It's really good.
You see what I mean about his dynamic range? Because it's not just, oh, he's yelling, this is funny. He's capable of being very funny at his height, you know, at the heights of his dynamic range, where he's yelling and like red-faced and at the end of a rant. But he's also very clever and able to deliver this more like straightforward, lower tone stuff.
I was on the plane, it was shaking. I'm like,
I mean, this is the only platform I have at all, and I'm sure I won't be able to contribute to Raanan Hershberg too much, but definitely if you're enjoying this, go listen to this whole special and give him a subscribe and whatnot. While you're down there on the subscribe button, please consider doing it here so we can go live on YouTube. But the more I do it here on Twitch, the more I get used to it, like not having a chat live. I wonder if that's just the model we'll continue to run with. I do want to be able to hang out, but I get distracted easily. So, like, I'm sure that'll be something I'll have to grapple with. But in any case, please consider subscribing. Appreciate that very much.
Hey, let's fucking have a crash. I'm so sad. You know?
Okay, so yeah, think about how you didn't make your dreams come true, and that'll make you sad enough to not care if you die.
So I look over to my left, and who do I see across the aisle but the Israeli porn star? Which is
No shit.
very exciting, you know? And so I say, excuse me, are you Bracha? She says I am. And I said, you know, I hope this doesn't come off as like weird or anything.
Oh, do you?
I jacked off to all your work.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, there you go.
And we started talking. It was going well, you know. It was a good conversation, you know. But then at one point, the topic of Palestinians came up,
Oh, wait.
and she said she didn't think the Palestinians deserve their own homeland.
Okay. Again, really leaning on that room tone. He's building tension. He does it well. I'm destroying that tension, but that's what I'm here for. That's what I do well.
Never meet your heroes. So I
Okay, yeah.
stopped. I couldn't do it anymore, you know? I stopped masturbating to her. I started looking for a porn star with like a more nuanced view of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But
It is funny because, again, the balloon animal he's making is like taking people seriously. It feels like, if interpreted in a liberal, you know, not politically liberal, but just in a liberal way, could apply to a lot of the death of the artist. You know, could be argued, the same thing could be argued with just traditional actors or musicians or whatever. It's just the porn star makes it a balloon animal. And I think maybe that's why I'm still on board.
very
Usually I don't like the jerking it stuff.
difficult. That is not a category on Pornhub. It is not.
Nuanced views. Okay.
And they have a lot of categories, you know? And, you know, call me an optimist, but I still believe that one day, in this divisive world, one day I will be masturbating to a porn star with a nuanced view.
This is literally the longest joke in the entire special, and you can see from the bars down here, which don't constitute commercial breaks. I don't think. At this point, I don't know.
Of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Yes. A porn star who can hold both Netanyahu and Hamas accountable.
That Dutch angle, here we are. We're coming up on the end here.
A porn star who can be
I
against
mean, we're at 39 of 43 minutes, so let's see how he brings it in for a landing, shall we?
the illegal settlement
Fly, yes. Land,
of the West Bank.
maybe.
A porn star who can be against the illegal settlements of the West Bank, but also acknowledge the anti-Semitism on the left and the right. A porn star who can see Israel for the
Again, if it's to be taken out of, applied in a more universal sense, this is a funny point he's making.
paradox it is. For the Jews, a safe haven before, during, and after the Holocaust. And for the Palestinians, a land that they were often cruelly displaced from. And I'm happy to say, 2 days ago, I found that porn star in the Filipino category. I was very excited.
Have a Filipino right about it. Another callback. They're getting a little clappy. I think they're champing at the bit a little bit. Cool it, folks. All right. We're still doing this.
So anyway, I did Joe Rogan's podcast, and
Wow, that was the whole... That's really funny. He started the Joe Rogan bit less than 5 minutes into his special. Did all kind of segue into.
And now I'm trying to figure out what comedian I want to be.
Because yeah, it was one person who hates Israel, and the other person that hates the nuance between those two views. But yeah, well played.
That's more of a conflict
And again, another great job of winding the whole thing together.
for me than even the Jewish thing, you know? Because there's only really two types of comedians you can be now, right? There's the Joe Rogan kind of pro-fascist, anti-woke comedian, you know? They'll make fun of anyone except for people in positions of power, you know?
Slam. Again, he was saying this when it was brave to say. It didn't come out in a way that was timely enough to hold that relevance, but it's to be noted that this was filmed in May of 2025. So he was against the Roganites, before it was cool to be against the Roganites.
No. So there's like that comic, the pro-fascist, you know, comic, and then there's the other type of comic, just the crowd work comic. That's half of comics now.
Okay.
They're just like, what do you do for a living, you know? Every comedian, or at least half of them, work for the Census Bureau now. It's insane.
That's the funniest bit I've heard about crowd work being hacked. I work for the Census Bureau.
Insane. It's the most empty. They're like, how many residents in your
I
house?
was just gonna say that.
Sold, you know? So those are the two comics I have to decide. Do I want to be like the crowd work comic or the pro-fascist comic? But I believe in nuance and I believe in the dialectic. So lately, I've been trying to combine the two.
Believes in the dialectic. Dialectic, the art of investigating or discussing the truth of opinions. Dialectic. That's a new word for me. Thanks, Raanan.
So this is me trying to combine crowd work and fascism, okay?
Okay.
The two big types of comedy.
This is him connecting those two. Let's see. Maybe he's closer.
Are you two a couple? How long have you let conspiracy theories erode your faith in democratic institutions? Anyway, so, in conclusion, if there's been any theme tonight, I think it's obvious that it's Hitler.
Okay.
So I'd like to end on two Hitler jokes. But these are top shelf Hitler jokes. So I was reading a book about Hitler recently, and it said a couple historians believe that Hitler might have been a quarter Jewish. That's like a theory. When I read that, I was like, God damn. They really do blame everything on the Jews, don't they?
Okay, all right.
Even Hitler is our fault, really? Can we at least not be blamed for Hitler? Can at least? But even Hitler, just another scheming Jew, apparently. Another fact about Hitler, this is true, you can look this up, he got prescribed speed every day by a doctor. Which I believe is the greatest argument against Adderall. Not everyone should be focused. Yeah. Sometimes just gotta let people have ADD, you understand? I'm just saying, if someone asks for Adderall, maybe take a look at their to-do list first. How about that? Ask them their plans. You
Really, really funny.
know? The world would have been better for everyone if Hitler was like, I want to kill all the... What's that shiny thing over there?
You know, ooh, shiny thing is kind of the like classic ADD go-to.
Oh, it's a
Squirrel is another one. Ooh, squirrel.
quarter. You gotta pick up a quarter.
Oh, he did a callback. Shiny thing was quarter. Okay.
Oh, it's a quarter. You gotta pick up a quarter. Thank you all. You're all the
Wow. Wow. All right. Raanan Hershberg. Woo-hoo. We're going to mute and go through the credits here. And then I will do my summary thoughts, and we'll send you on your day, on your way here. Written and performed by Raanan Hershberg. I think we're probably doing some... Oh, right, there was outro music. It probably sounds really good. I'm not going to critique and insult another musician. Just sticking to the credits here. Muted and muted and muted. So, directed by Dave Hogsett. Very well done. Sound by Tony Deo. Solid work, especially for someone who's like running with the mic all the time. Really good job of keeping that right in the sweet spot. Good job, Tony Deo. Edited by Mark Hall. I was remarking on the edits. Rather deft hand. An adept approach, having deft hands. Intro song by Mibe Music. I don't know, man. Mibe also feels like it might be like a library, a music lib. We'll see. The outro music. Closing song by Daniel Har or something. The fucking thing's popping up over your name, Daniel. You got dicked. Closing song by Daniel Harnett. Okay. So once again, I got to give it up for Raanan. Exhibits way more personality and emotion on stage than you tend to see, especially right now out of New York. A lot of cool guys, a lot of like, Akash has a pretty good range as well. But, LA comic Ian Edwards being the contrast there, I think is a fantastic setting of polarities so far, and with what we've experienced on the show so far, a fantastic setting of polarities as far as someone who doesn't emote much. I don't even know that it's a good set of polarities, because I think that Ian Edwards I would enjoy him more if he were a little bit more animate. And Raanan Hershberg, I think he nails it. He does a great job of revving up and then being way over the top, and his timing, the way that he times out his punchlines with how worked up he gets. It's like a symphony, bro. He does a fantastic job of weaving that all together. I cannot believe he is not bigger, has a bigger following. Hello. I can't believe he doesn't have a larger following. Go follow him, because he truly deserves it. His writing was very clever. There were a couple of times I could sort of call his shots, but can't take that away from him. Pretty damn good over here at Critical Eeks. LOL. He made a couple of points that I've always thought should be made. I've actually made them in private. The whole goblins and Gringotts thing. Fantastic. Overall, I gotta say, boy, what is it? What's it gonna be? I think, given that he wrote all of this, or given that this was performed and recorded in May of last year, I have to say I give it an 8.5. I think its writing and its performance absolutely chops heads with McCusker, who's so much more developed than him. Raanan I hope, continues to believe in himself, because he's fucking good. He is unsung, and hopefully we're catching him right at the beginning of a big swell. I hope that for him. That said, I do have to say, I feel like he could have benefited from the 800-pound gorilla media approach, because he is so funny, that it probably would have drawn a lot of people to him. Now, maybe he's done that before and decided against it. We're just now getting to know this character, and I look forward to getting to know him even more. Top 3 comics that we've reviewed so far on Critical Weeks. You know, we're just almost to a dozen episodes in this format, and Raanan's definitely top 3, hands down. But a big shout out to Corey Feldman for sharing his memoir with the world. And shout out to my new subscribers and my new friends. And thank you for joining us. This has been Critical Leaks, and in the meantime, be nice.